Hello, I'm back. What's up? Happy Saturday evening, night, morning. What is it? I know I'm on late tonight. You know what? I just had a busy day. Busy day. I'm busy today and tomorrow, but I'm determined to stream in the evenings. Tomorrow we'll start a little earlier. I have a deep dive and we're going to keep continuing Karen Reed tomorrow. I always forget to say hi to everyone. Hello. I just jumped right into it. I know you guys are probably shocked about what we're going to be talking about today. Let me see. I see hi, Debbie. Hi, Alsine. I see Chief in here. Hello. Swan Dog. Hi. Augie. Hello, beautiful Augie. Are you guys talking about tacos? I see something about tacos. Hello. Okay, so we're updating things a little bit. Hello. Hi, my name is Melly. Welcome to all the new viewers, all the new subscribers, all the lurkers. Shout out to all my mods. Shout out to all my friends. Y'all are my friends. Hey, number 7. But yes, shout out to all the mods for being here and just always being awesome. Augie and Debbie, thank you, all of you. We're going to be talking Gypsy Rose, just a little recap. We're still continuing Karen Reed marathon tomorrow. I need to get caught up. We will continue Dee Dee. I'm up to par on that. I'm just off one day. We will continue Dee Dee on Monday. I will be talking about Valeria Vasquez tomorrow. Marquez tomorrow. I'm so excited. Sorry, I apologize for the name. So we're going to be talking about her tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. And tonight, well, Debbie, actually, one of my mods introduced me to, well, she introduced me, but she mentioned Gypsy Rose. And I know all about Gypsy Rose. I just never actually looked into the case and was interested to cover it. And it's very wild. And I was just thinking lots of things, her boyfriend, if you don't know who Gypsy Rose is, she ended up planning with her boyfriend. She was a victim of Munchausen by proxy, I believe is what the name is. And it's basically means, so the definition of Munchausen syndrome is basically a fictitious disorder imposed on self, is a mental health condition where individuals intentionally fabricate or exaggerate physical or psychological symptoms to gain attention and sympathy. It's like a distinct form of hypochondriacs where individuals worry excessively about their health. Munchausen syndrome can be dangerous as a person may take unnecessary medications, undergo unnecessary tests, or even self-harm. So I'm not a professional in Gypsy Rose, but we're going to be after we deep dive here. I got all the court paperwork. You know how we do. We get all the facts, all the court paperwork. So we're going to start from the beginning. She basically planned with her boyfriend, Nicolas Godejohn, to unalive her mother, who was basically intentionally making her sick of all of these things. And they got all of this money through foundations. It's a really long story. We're going to learn it all here together. I know most of the details, but not how we're going to read it through the court paperwork. And we're going to watch the interrogation tonight. I believe she was 23 when this happened. I'm not sure how old her boyfriend was. We're going to find out. Her boyfriend, who I believe she met online, and she was dating online for 2 years. This is the man, Nicolas Paul Godejohn, who she planned with him to unalive her mother. She wanted to be free, allegedly, of her mother and what her mother was doing to her, making her ill. And she had to do all of these, tests. She had cancer at one point. She had asthma. She had hearing aids. She had vision. She had a feeding tube at one point. And I think the crazy thing about this is that she knows and she can't walk. She has muscle dystrophy. I don't know. I got the medical records. Girl, buckle down. It's crazy. But we are going to look through all of those. So we're going to do a couple parts to Gypsy Rose. Anyways, I'm just ranting over here. But okay, so she and her boyfriend, Nicholas, they plan to unalive the mom. She's unhappy. She's being abused by her, but she can walk. The whole thing was she was in a wheelchair, Gypsy. And she ends up, she can walk. And then they see in the interrogation, and then she testifies at court, which we're going to cover. She's oh yeah, actually, I knew the whole time I could walk. And she I think she knew that, what was going on. She ended up figuring it out. We're going to find out. I'm not sure. I'm not a Gypsy Rose pro, but, anyways, so there's a trial. She ends up getting 10 years with the possibility of parole at like 7 years. Girl got out. I'm pretty sure the whole world knows who Gypsy Rose is. And I just have so many questions when we relate it to the other true crime cases that we talk about here. We talk about like the Menendez brothers. Like, why aren't they worthy of being out and being free, right? Like, Gypsy Rose is out. She crazy. I don't care. My opinion, allegedly, to this case, I haven't read all the court paperwork. We're going to read it all together. We're going to watch videos. We're going to do all the tea here. We deep dive Melly version style. But we're going, and I don't have like a full definite opinion yet, but like thus far, I think they're all sick. I think the mother, RIP, I'm not here to victim blame, but I think, you know, when I looked into, as I deep dive and looking into things and I see like her relationship with her ex and like all this stuff, I'm like, something is off for sure. Many people believe that Gypsy is innocent and that she was a victim and, you know, suffered all of this abuse and all of this like medical abuse. And some people love her. And then other people are like, no. The mom was cray. Like, she did all of this, you know, she was sick psychologically, you know, not that it gives anybody the right to kill anyone, but like, you know, a lot of people are like, she did it to her defense. And then the other crazy part is that her boyfriend, who she did this with, so she like plans it all, plots it all. She's like the mastermind of the crime, right? And she admits that. She's like, oh yeah, that was my idea. But it's her boyfriend, Nicolas Godejohn, who actually ends up stabbing her mother while she's sleeping on her stomach in bed. Ends up stabbing her 17 times. He basically severed her from her neck up. And he ended up getting life without the possibility of parole. And we're going to cover all of this. We're going to read all the documents. He recently in 2024 tried to appeal. He was denied. They were like, nope, you don't get no chance. And so I think his next opportunity is, I don't know. I'm not sure. We're going to read through the court paperwork, but yeah, he got denied. And, you know, I have many questions and I wanted to come here and just gossip and talk with you guys because like, okay, so the Menendez brothers, why don't they get a chance? You know, this case is brutal. She was a mastermind. Sure, her boyfriend did it. I don't think, in Melly's opinion, I don't think he should have got life without the possibility of parole. I think if she's out living her little TikTok, you know, life or whatever as a TikTok influencer or whatever she does on her reality shows, I'm not sure. But, you know, I think it's sick, kind of. I'm like, you know, and he has autism. So then it got me to thinking and connecting the dots with the Brian Kohberger case, the Idaho 4. So he has autism. Nick, her boyfriend, Gypsy's boyfriend, he had autism. And they, you know, the defense fought for that in court. That was one of the reasons that, you know, Gypsy allegedly took advantage of him and she made him do this. And he has autism. And, you know, he deserves a little bit of a break because he's mentally not well, you know, with other things and autism. So I don't know. We're going to read the felony complaint tonight, and then we're going to read the probable cause summary. We're going to read 2 police reports. They're just a couple pages each, and then we're going to watch the interrogation. Tomorrow or Monday, we'll continue with part 2, and we're going to watch, you know, the continuing interrogations, and I'm going to just keep going through the court docket, and we're just going to read all the documents. So it's not too many documents. It's a couple pages. The felony complaint's only a couple pages. The police reports, you know, it gets a little hectic because there's a bunch of them, right? There's a lot of police officers there. So we're going to read through each one individually. Yeah, you might think like, yeah, Melly, it's too much, you know, whatever, but that's fine. It's my channel. And so I want to do it. We like to read documents. I hope you enjoy it. I like to get all the facts. And people have different perspectives, you know, and these are police and they're humans, you know, so I feel like it's interesting to hear from all the facts. And basically, I like to go through all the documents. I'm like OCD about true crime, but I need to like read everything, even if sometimes it gets to be a little too much or boring. But anyways, before I get started, thank you for being here. I hope you got enough update about Gypsy Rose. If you didn't know about her, who doesn't know about her? I'm curious. Let me catch up. I'm behind. I'm over here talking about Gypsy Rose. She's off parole on June 25th. Should Gypsy Rose be free? And and if you think she deserves to be free and she didn't have time and she was a victim to all this medical abuse, is it any different for the Menendez brothers who were allegedly, assaulted by their parents for years? And like, is it different? And why shouldn't they get a second chance is kind of my thing. And then the next question I have that I said earlier is like, Brian Kohberger, we don't want to give him a pass. We don't want to hear about his autism, disorder, his personally. And then Nicolas tried to do it. So then I was thinking, like, if Nicolas gets to appeal and he does end up getting an opportunity, which is wild, I definitely think we should hear from him. Like, what does he think about Gypsy just living her life out here? Like, they plotted this together. I would be pissed. I'd be like, she is out there free and like, we plotted this together. Like, but he did stab Dee Dee, her mother. This is Gypsy's mother. I forgot to say her name. Dee Dee, she was stabbed 17 times, like I said. So definitely overkill, definitely brutal. Do you think Gypsy should be free? Do you think her boyfriend should get a chance at being free as well? Do you think the Menendez brothers should get a chance if Gypsy Rose is out here on the TikToks making millions of dollars? And what do you think about the mother? R.I.P. Dee Dee. But, I don't think she was mentally well. And I could see her totally being what is alleged of her from Gypsy. I can see that. So that's just my opinion only, but let me know what you think. Rant. Hi, Patty. I'm sorry. I was like over there ranting. Tony, don't be a hater. To me, if she got out, the young man should be free too, says Debbie. They should both be free or both be incarcerated. Yeah, she had 10 years, got out at 7.5 maybe. And she's just been free, doing her thing, having babies, having divorces, all the stuff. So I don't know. Doesn't feel right. And the more I watch stuff and deep dive, I'm just like, I don't know. Part of me thinks Gypsy Rose is kind of evil and should still be locked up. Don't come for me. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe after this, I'll really love Gypsy Rose. I don't know. Who knows? Probably not. But let's get started. We're going to read the felony complaint. I'll share on my screen. Oh, oops. Okay. Here we go. Okay. June 6th. Oh, and by the way, I think this was filed June 16, 2015. So it was a while ago. It's interesting to read older documents. I don't know. I'm a nerd about documents. Thank you for being here, by the way. She's evil in my opinion. Thank you, Smart Dog. Hello, all new viewers. She's evil in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. So felony complaint count 1. Oh, and this happened in Missouri. The prosecuting attorney of the County of Greene, State of Missouri, charges with the defendants Nicolas Paul Godejohn and Gypsy R. Blanchard in violation of, etc., a felony of unaliving in the first degree, punishable upon conviction, in that on or between June 9th, 2015 and June 14th, 2015, in the County of Greene, State of Missouri. The defendants, after deliberation, knowingly caused the death of Clauddine Blanchard by stabbing her. Count 2. The prosecuting attorney of the County of Greene, State of Missouri, charges of the defendant Nicolas Paul Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard committed the felony of armed criminal action punishable upon conviction in that on or between June 9th, 2015 and June 14th, 2015, in the County of Greene, State of Missouri. The defendants committed the felony of unaliving in the first degree, charged in count 1, all allegations of which are incorporated herein by reference, and the defendant committed the foregoing felony of unaliving in the first degree by, with, and through the knowing use, assistance, and aid of a dangerous instrument. She too, I'm like interrupting the court paperwork, but she bought the knife and like all of that too. So like she plotted. The facts that form the basis for this information and belief are contained in the attached probable cause statement concerning this matter, which statements are made part hereof and is submitted herewith as the basis upon which the court may find the existence of probable cause for the issuance of the warrant. Wherefore, the prosecuting attorneys pray that the arrest warrant be issued as provided by law. Hey, ATS. Yeah, ATS knows a lot about Gypsy Rose too. This is the first time I covered Gypsy Rose on my channel. So, you know, yeah, ATS. I forget what your opinion is of all this thing. I know we think she's cray-cray, but, you know, I have my opinions about her mother too. We need to talk. I need to know what you guys think. Tell me everything. Okay, so probable cause statement, June 16th, 2015. Stanley Hancock, knowing the false statements on this form are punishable by law. I have probable cause to believe that Nicolas Godejohn, white male, date of birth 5/20/1989, and Gypsy Blanchard, white female, 7/27/1991, aka 7/27/1995 and 7/28/1992. What does that mean? They don't know when she was born? Oh, because they don't have any medical records. So, you know, her and her mother went through like Hurricane Katrina, I believe it was. And all of their documents and medical records disappeared through, you know, the hurricane. So I think, is this what they mean by they don't know when she was born or something? Because I know they lost all the medical records, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get to that. But why is there AKA 727? I'm confused. Committed one or more criminal offenses. She has 3 birthdays? The following crimes. The following crimes happened on June 9th, 2015 at 2103 West Volunteer Way in Springfield in Greene County, Missouri. The facts supporting this belief are as follows. On June 14th, 2014, the Greene County Sheriff's Office was called to 2103 West Voluntary Way, Springfield, Missouri, a location in the Greene County, Missouri, to check the well-being of residents Clauddine Blanchard, date of birth 5/3/67, and her daughter, Gypsy Blanchard. A friend called 911 because of threatening messages on Dee's Facebook, that's what her mother goes by, page, which read, quote unquote, that B is dead. And another posting that says, quote unquote, I effing slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet innocent daughter. Her scream was so effing loud. LOL. The Facebook postings were sent from Dee's own account and they had been sent on June 14th, 2015. What? Gypsy posted that stuff, I believe. You know, these are like the things that is brutal to make that up, whether it's true or not. You know, these are like the things that make me think, like, is she, I mean, she is a victim, but to what extent, you know? Because those are disgusting thoughts. So that's a weird way to celebrate. Gyp did it. During a search of the residence, under the authority of a search warrant, Dee was located face down on her bed with multiple stab wounds to her back area. She further had a gaping laceration in the back of her neck. Gypsy Blanchard was not located at the residence, though the only vehicle known to be used by Clauddine and Gypsy was at the residence. The Facebook postings were determined to have been sent from a location registered to Nicolas Godejohn from an address on W228 Cherry Street, Big Bend, Wisconsin. Contact was made with the 𝐭𝐞𝐥𝐿 County Sheriff's Office, and their deputies responded to the location. 𝐭𝐞𝐥𝐿 County deputies located Gypsy Blanchard and Nicolas Godejohn, and after a brief standoff, they were detained. On June 16th, 2015, contact was made with Nicolas at the 𝐭𝐞𝐥𝐿 County Sheriff's Office and he was advised of the reason for contacting him. Post Miranda warning, Nicolas admitted coming to Springfield, Missouri to see Gypsy. He asked her at one point if she was sure she wanted him to do an unalive Dee, and Gypsy said yes. He admitted he stabbed Dee several times in the back while he was on top of her, holding her down. He stated it was at night when he went in to stab Dee and she was lying down and believed to be asleep. Nicolas stated he thought about graping Dee, however, he did not do it. She allegedly took some sleeping pills. She used some sleeping pills for whatever reason, medical reason or not, I don't know. And I know she took some pills that night. So she was probably in a deep sleep. And Gypsy locked herself in the bathroom while this happened. She didn't want to hear all the noise of the crime. And yeah, he was just out there unaliving her mother. The knife he used was given to him by Gypsy. He stated he would not had unalived anyone unless Gypsy asked him to, and this is why he unalived Dee. He mailed the knife to his home address so he would not get caught with it. Nicolas said he went to the bathroom where Gypsy Rose was hiding to let her know he had cut his finger with the knife while he was stabbing her mother. They both began cleaning up blood in the hallway. They took several $1,000s from the safe from inside Dee's bedroom. Nicolas stated he knew what he had done was wrong, but he did it for Gypsy because she asked him to. I believe they took, I think it was like $4,000, and like Gypsy thought it was going to be so much money because allegedly she didn't know the value of the dollar because, you know, she was sick. Like she was born a normal baby. Not exactly sure when Dee started doing all of this. I know it was after she had divorced Gypsy's dad, which we're going to learn about later. But I know that she had been doing this for, you know, years. And so I know that they took $4,000 and they were supposed to leave and she was supposed to be gone forever. But, you know, a part of me like thinks that, you know, something was literally wrong with her mother. I'm not like trying to victim blame, but I think, you know, I think she was doing all these terrible things to Gypsy. We saw it in a couple of the Australian mom cases from TikTok that we covered here. Alana Harris was one of them, and she was doing the same thing to her. I think it was like 6-month-old baby. She was making her sick, and she got arrested for it. Go back and watch that. That was a couple months ago. But, you know, and I think it's brutal. So did she deserve to be stabbed to death and had her head almost severed? No. But I do think that it played a huge factor into Gypsy's mental health. The knife he used was given to him by Gypsy. He stated he would not have unalived anyone unless Gypsy asked him to. He mailed the knife to his home address so he would not get caught with it. Nicolas said he went to the bathroom where Gypsy was hiding to let her know he had cut his finger with a knife while he was stabbing her mother. They both began cleaning up blood in the hallway. They took several $1,000s, I already read that, I'm sorry, from Dee's bedroom. You know, when they were cleaning up blood in the hallway, it is alleged that, I think we'll hear in the interrogation too, that she was naked while doing it, you know, and we're going to deep dive a lot of this stuff. And Gypsy, I have a lot of questions, you know, they were doing all these like freaky stuff and I don't know. They both began cleaning up. Okay, yeah. On June 15th, 2015, I made contact with Gypsy at the 𝐻𝐿𝐴 County Sheriff's Office and advised her of the reason for me contacting her. I read Gypsy her Miranda warning and she agreed to speak to me. Post Miranda warning, she admitted to being at the residence when her boyfriend, Nick, had stabbed her mother. She admitted to knowing her boyfriend was going to stab her mother and she did nothing to stop it, nor did she report it to the authorities. Gypsy admitted she was in the house when her mother was being stabbed and she could hear her screaming. Gypsy admitted to posting the Facebook comment that B is dead. She posted this because she wanted her mother found quicker by law enforcement. She tried to clean up Nicolas's blood by using baby wipes. After she cleaned up some of the blood, she called a yellow cab to come and pick her and Nicolas up, and she left the residence in the cab with Nicolas. Cleaning up a crime scene with baby wipes seems really, really interesting to me. I'm like, really? The baby wipes? Let's see. We're going to get over to some of the police reports. I never had deep dive this. I'm shook. I'm shook people pay her millions of dollars. And I'm shook she's out walking free, to be honest. I said it. Don't come for me. Okay, we're going to read a couple of the police reports. I'm going to say we're going to read 3, and then we'll get into the interrogation. They're each like 2 pages long, so it's not bad. It was a very sad case, and everyone like Gypsy, if the boyfriend would have been treated the same. I think it's crazy how evil people are being praised and talk about. Just makes no sense to me. Hey, everyone, just getting in. She's guilty as her boyfriend. She should have gotten the same time. I agree. Okay, I'm glad we're all on the same page. And I'm just saying this is my opinion. I worry about, I know she has a baby now. I don't know. I think these things are like mentally affect people. And, you know, I just have concerns. And she has a Lifetime show. So why can't the Menendez brothers be out? Why? Why can't they? I feel like they should get a chance to, which maybe they will, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think Gypsy Rose is completely innocent in this, and I don't think she's completely, I mean, she said it herself. She's a victim and the perpetrator, you know? I don't know. Agree. Yeah. Okay, let's get, I'm going to read one of the police reports. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong screen. This case is crazy. I'm really excited that Debbie said I should cover it, and then I looked into it. I mean, I had already watched some of her TikTok stuff and her reality show and all that, and I was shook from the beginning because the Menendez brothers can't 100% prove they were victims. I think they proved they were victims, but we don't know. It's like same with Gypsy. I mean, we're kind of going, Dee Dee's not here. Like, Dee Dee's not here to be like, yeah, I manipulated her. Or like, Gypsy was in on it. You know, like, she was a victim. I mean, she was a kid. So, you know, that could also play a factor. But I think we're just supposed to believe that because she got out on parole, that she's a good human walking out in humanity, and just believe everything she says, because why? You know? She plotted to unalive her mother, and she knew what she was doing, and she was having sex, and she was doing all these freaky things, which we're going to watch in the interrogation. And so I feel like, she knew what she was doing. And, I know she was like in fear of her mother about reporting what was going on, but she was seeing doctor after doctor after doctor. I just question, like, why she never said anything, and then, why did she decide to do this? I don't know. It's a pretty brutal crime. It's her mother. I don't know. We see a lot of crazy stuff here, though, in true crime, but this supplemental report is from Officer Hancock, who I think was like the lead on here. This is the report time is September 3rd. On Sunday, June 14th, 2015, Greene County Sheriff's deputies was dispatched to Volunteer Way for report of 2 missing females. This case was involving Dee Blanchard, who was found deceased, and her 23-year-old biological daughter, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who was reported as missing. Wait, I think that says 2 missing people, not females, because who was the other female? Who was her several of the neighbors were concerned about the well-being of Dee and Gypsy because of the post of Gypsy's Facebook about how they were both dead. Dee and Gypsy resided at Volunteer Way in Springfield, Missouri. Dee and Gypsy had not been seen or heard from for approximately 2 days, and the caller, Kimberly Blanchard, a close friend, reported finding Facebook posts from unknown persons stating that both of them had been raped and unalived. Kimberly arrived at the above residence to find Dee's vehicle, a 2011 Nissan Cube, in the driveway, and no one would answer the door. Kimberly said both Dee and Gypsy had several health issues requiring them both to be wheelchair bound. According to the statements made by neighbors, David Blanchard, Tamara Rose, and Amy Pignart, Gypsy was very ill with degenerative genetic disorder, unknown what type, and some sort of cancer, unknown what type. They had tried to call Dee's cell phone multiple times and had not gotten an answer, which they said was unusual. Tamara and Amy confirmed the vehicle parked in the driveway was Dee's and the only known vehicle they had. None of them could remember seeing either Dee or Gypsy in the last few days. Several of the local hospitals were checked, and Dee and Gypsy were not admitted into any of them. The neighbor stated Gypsy and her mother go to Kansas City, Missouri hospitals for treatment. Phone contact with several of the Kansas City area hospitals were made trying to locate Dee and Gypsy. Neither of them was registered patients at the Kansas City hospitals. Attempts were made to make contact with people on Gypsy's Facebook page. Because of the suspicious messages, only known vehicle in the driveway, both were missing, wheelchairs were still at the house, that B is dead, and I effing slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet innocent daughter. Her scream was so effing loud, LOL, coming from Facebook. Dee Gyp Blanchard. Friends and neighbors advised law enforcement this was Dee's and Gypsy's Facebook. A search warrant for the residence 2103 Volunteer Way was sought. After the search warrant was approved, it was served by Greene County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigative Division. Inside the residence, under the authority of a search warrant, a female later identified as Dee Blanchard was found lying on the bed in a bedroom on her stomach with several apparent stab wounds to her backside. Gypsy was not located inside the residence. Aaliyah Woodmains, who had been friends with Gypsy in the past, had information she wanted to share. Contact made with Aaliyah. She had advised deputies about Nicolas Godejohn, who Gypsy talked a lot about. Aaliyah had been communicating with Gypsy via Facebook in October of 2014 about Nick. In the Facebook messages, Gypsy talks about wanting to have a baby with Nick, and she wanted to name the child Nicolas Paul Godejohn Jr. According to Aaliyah, the messages Gypsy sent to her indicated Nick had promised her they would get married. Nicolas had been promising to meet her at the premiere of the movie Cinderella in March of 2015. Aaliyah was unable to remember what Gypsy's name was listed on as Facebook, but believed it to be Gypsy Rose. She had not talked to Gypsy or visited with Gypsy since October of 2014. On Monday, June 15, 2015, Gypsy and Nicolas were located at W22878 S8755 Cherry Street, Big Bend, Wisconsin. The address and name were located through the IP address from the Facebook page post about the statement, I effing slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet innocent daughter. The IP address checked back to Nicolas Godejohn at the above mentioned address. They allegedly mailed the knife back to Nicholas's parents' house because they thought that there was, I think, like metal detectors at the bus station, so they didn't want to take it, so they mailed it. They mailed the weapon. I'm like, I don't know. I'm also curious, do you guys think that his autism does play a factor in this? And if you do think it does, should Brian Kohberger get the opportunity to, use his autism disorder, in court as a defense? Hey, CW, good to see you. She was sucking him in. Yeah. Gypsy knew she could walk. She knew if she was stayed in that wheelchair, they would get free stuff. Yeah, she knew. I know. I agree. Okay, let's see. On Monday, June 15th, 2015, contact was made with Gypsy and Nicolas in the interview room at 𝐻𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐲 County Sheriff's Office, Waukesha, Wisconsin. Sergeant Hancock interviewed Gypsy Blanchard. During the interview, Gypsy disclosed Nick had unalived her mother because Nick and Dee did not get along. Gypsy claimed she had been made to stay in the bathroom at 2103 Volunteer Way address while Nicolas unalived Dee. Gypsy claimed she was raped and then forced to clean up the residence after Nicolas unalived Dee. Gypsy claimed she had no part in the unaliving of Dee. On Tuesday, June 16, 2015, Angela Mahoney interviewed Nicolas Godejohn in an interview room at the Waukesha County Sheriff's Office. Nicolas admitted stabbing Dee in the back with a knife while she was lying on her stomach while she had been sleeping in her bedroom. He disclosed about how Gypsy had given him the knife and the gloves and let him in the residence. He admitted the whole idea to kill Dee was Gypsy's idea, and he would have not unalived her if Gypsy had not asked him to unalive her. Nicolas described where several pieces of evidence pertaining to the unaliving could be located inside his residence at Cherry Street in Big Bend, including the weapon he used. We're going to watch that as well. We're going to watch all the police interrogation. I'm sorry, I was trying to make that big. Co-burgers on the spectrum would play no part in his decision to commit the atrocious acts. Fair. So the Nicolas shouldn't be able to use that either, right? I don't know. Tomato, tomato. Everyone's different. And you can tell Nick is different like a pleaser, you know? Yo, if they were having all that freaky relationship stuff, I feel like they were aware of what was going on, or no? I don't know. Is that, maybe don't come for me for saying that. After the interviews were completed, a Greene County Sheriff's Office probable cause statement was submitted to the Greene County Prosecutor's Office. The probable cause statement was signed by a Greene County, Missouri judge for unaliving in the first degree and armed criminal action. Gypsy and Nicolas were turned over to the 𝐭𝐞𝐥𝐿 County Jail. On Tuesday, June 16th, 2015, 𝐭𝐞𝐥𝐿 County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Division conducted a search of the residence located at W228 Cherry Street in Big Bend, which is Nicolas's home. Several pieces of evidence related to the unaliving were collected from. Oh, I'm sorry, I just read that. My bad. Don't come for me. A forensic examination was completed on Nicolas Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard's cell phone. Oh my gosh, we're gonna cover those too, so buckle up. Maybe tomorrow. The examination showed several text messages exchanged between Nick and Gypsy just days before leading up to the date of the crime. The examination revealed a video from Gypsy's phone where someone can be seen walking through the residence at 2103 West Volunteer Way, Springfield, Missouri, and into Dee's bedroom to the bed where Dee slept. Dee was not in the bed during the making of the video when the cell phone was held over the bed. Interesting. Then, with their free hand, they pointed toward the head of the bed. The subject then made a stabbing motion toward the bed. So it basically shows that it was premeditated. They practiced it. They had an idea. They plotted. They planned. I'm going to skip that for now. We're going to come back and cover that. The next police report is by Officer Robertson. Hey, Cree. Good to see you, love. Thanks for being here. Good to see you, Patty. And yes, easily manipulated. Okay, so we think that Gypsy manipulated him and what? He just fell for it? He is just so in love with her. He stabbed her mother 17 times. I know they're both mentally not well. I don't think Gypsy's well. I'm just saying. But I definitely think that something here is wrong. And why? Hey, Jahira, good to see you. And why is she free out here making millions of dollars? I don't know. This is very off to me. Okay, so this is another police report, and this is from Officer Robertson on June 14th, 2015. I responded to check the well-being of Dee and her 14-year-old daughter, Gypsy Blanchard. According to call notes, it was reported the two had not been seen or heard from approximately 2 days, and that the caller, Kimberly Blanchard, a close friend, reported finding Facebook posts from unknown persons stating that the two had been raped and unalived. Additionally, it was reported she and other neighbors arrived at the above residence to find Dee's vehicle in the driveway. No one would answer the door. Furthermore, it was said both Dee and Gypsy had several health issues. Upon arrival of myself, Deputy K. Hughes, and R. Stewart, and later Deputy T. Haynes, Deputy Hughes spoke to the neighbors and friends on scene who knew the two alleged missing females, while Corporal Stewart and I checked the doors and windows of the residence for any indications of forced entry or foul play. Nothing was found as a result. However, while checking on the east door of the residence, one of the neighbors, Charles Blanchard, Kimberly's husband, found an unlocked but closed window leading into the kitchen of the residence, and he went inside despite warnings not to. Moments later, he unlocked the front door and advised that the two were not inside, and he did not see any apparent signs of a struggle. He was instructed to exit the residence, and the residence was resecured. It was learned that the window Charles found unlocked could not be secured due to malfunctioning window locks. not caused by tampering. We checked the vehicle and the driveway and the outbuilding on the property, and nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary with either of them. I then assisted with gathering information that would be pertinent to locating the two possible females. I canvassed the area of the residence in the view of the home in question, and I found no one home. There was uncollected mail in the mailbox showing postmark dates of 6/8/2015. However, it was unknown when the mail was delivered. Additionally, information gained while on scene per Deputy K. Hughes was that Gypsy had a secret Facebook account that she kept hidden from her mother, and that she had been sexting an individual about meeting. Based on the information obtained at the scene, I made contact with the on-call detective, B. Wallace, and informed him of the matter. I was later advised he would be en route along with other detectives to investigate, and that he requested that I have Dee and Gypsy entered into the meals as missing. Sure, that's their missing people's database. Prior to leaving the scene, I called the records division and had both entered as missing. This is a missing persons report that was filed. Missing persons, disability, medical and physical disability. Last seen by 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐫. And then this is for, who's this for? Wait, who was that one for? They're both with Gypsy? No, one's Gypsy's, and then this is her mother's. Missing person. Wait, medical, mental disability, and physical? For both Gypsy? Okay, let's move on. Hughes. Officer Hughes. Yeah, that's crazy. On 6/14/2015 at 3:13 p.m., Officer K. Hughes, was dispatched to a call for service at Volunteer Way. I responded along with Deputy Robertson and my field training officer, Stewart. Neighbors of the occupants, Dee, who goes by Dee Dee. Oh, I'm sorry, she goes by Dee Dee, not Dee. Dee Dee. And her daughter, Gypsy Blanchard, were concerned because some posts had been made on Dee Dee's Facebook page from her own account. We were met at the Blanchard's residence by 4 neighbors, David and Kimberly Blanchard, no relationship, Tamara Rose, and Amy, the initial reporting party. The neighbors were concerned both Dee Dee and Gypsy had multiple health problems. Gypsy was wheelchair bound and had degenerative genetic disorder and some sort of cancer, according to Kimberly. She won't live to be as old as we are, Kimberly stated. The neighbors all stated that Dee Dee and Gypsy spent a lot of time home and were friendly people, describing them as both sweet multiple times. They stated that the Blanchards had moved to Springfield after Hurricane Katrina. They had been residents of Louisiana prior to that. None of them thought that the Blanchards had any relatives still living. They had tried to call Dee Dee's cell phone multiple times and not gotten an answer, which they said was unusual. Tamara and Amy confirmed that it was Dee Dee's car sitting in the driveway. None of them could remember seeing Dee Dee or Gypsy in the last few days. Hey, Dustin. Oh, thank you, Jahira. Thank you. Yeah, just wavy. Let's see. They stated there had been a burglary at this location in April, and Dee Dee had been very nervous ever since. I asked if Dee Dee would open the door of the house to the stranger, and Amy stated that she would, and she rarely looked outside or used the peephole before opening the door. I asked her if she would describe Dee Dee as being inclined to trust people, and Amy said that Dee Dee was a very trusting individual, although the robbery had rattled her. Was that Nick in the burglary? I'm curious. I don't know about that. Kimberly showed me the post in question. The first one, posted on June 14th, approximately 2:40 p.m., stated that B is dead. A comment on the same post, also from Dee Dee's account, stated, I've repeated this already many times, I effing slashed that fat pig, etc., etc. I raped her. And approximately half an hour after the initial post, another post was made on Dee Dee's Facebook page saying, the girl is dead too. Kimberly took screenshots of these posts and sent them to my email account upon my request. David Blanchard stated that he had formerly been involved in the running of Vision VisionCon, a local science fiction and fantasy convention. David said in 2011, Gypsy had arranged to meet a man at VisionCon, and the man had convinced her to steal money from her mother's purse and run away. Her mother had been able to find out what was going on and prevent anything from happening. So that's when she met Nick, I think. But also, like, you know, when I was deep diving, and we'll probably get touch base on this later, but her mother was like obviously very controlling of her, didn't want, you know, Gypsy was just surrounded by her mother all the time. She was homeschooled. She went to her doctor's appointments, back to her mother. She basically lived, breathed, you know, everything with her mother. So, you know, I do feel like there was a lot going on there, and she was definitely a victim and definitely abused, but I think she's also a unaliver. Linda Young, the mother of the next door neighbor, walked over to talk to us after we'd been on the scene for a while. She stated that her daughter had formerly had a key to the Blanchard house, but had given it back maybe 6 months ago. Her daughter had some mental disabilities, but is still high functioning and lives alone. Linda stated there was some sort of trouble at the Blanchard residence with certain people in the neighborhood that her daughter had been implicated in because she had a key which was prompted for her to return it. Linda did not want to tell me who certain people were, but implied they continued to cause issues. 𝐻𝐿𝐴 Woodmansee, Amy's daughter, also came to the scene. 𝐻𝐿𝐴 informed me that Gypsy had been communicating with her through a secret Facebook profile that her mother didn't know about last October. 𝐻𝐿𝐴 was also able to find messages on her phone and allowed me to use the phone to review the messages. Gypsy said in the messages that she had been communicating with another man on the internet. At one point in the message, Gypsy stated that this man was 24 years old, and at another point, she stated that she wanted their future son to be named Nicolas Godejohn Jr. The messages that Gypsy sent to 𝐻𝐿𝐴 indicated that this man had promised Gypsy various things, possibly even including stating that they would get married, although they had not met in person at this point. The man had also been sending her sexual text messages since they shared a funny story with 𝐻𝐿𝐴, I think maybe it might be, not 𝐻𝐿𝐴, that involved this man sending sexual messages to his father by mistake. What? He sent inappropriate messages to his father? Wow. This man had been promising to meet her at the premiere of the movie Cinderella in March. Gypsy had gotten upset with 𝐻𝐿𝐴 and wound up blocking her from Facebook. 𝐻𝐿𝐴 was unable to remember what Gypsy's name was listed on Facebook, but she believed it to be Gypsy Rose. She stated that Gypsy had been using a picture from the Disney animated version of Cinderella as her profile picture. None of the neighbors seemed to have any further they could contribute. I collected their contact information and implored them to contact us if they knew of anything that could help the investigation. Okay, next one is Officer Stewart. And this is the last police report we're going to read. There's quite a few of them, and then we're going to go through all the medical records. We're going to do all of it, but after this, we're going to get into the interrogation. So thank you for being here. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Hey, Tofa. Hey, Abuelitas Jenny. Thanks for being here. I know it's late. Yeah, did you guys bring your notebook? Bring your notebook. We're doing Gypsy Deep Dive. We're still continuing 𝐵𝐴 and 𝐞𝐵𝐿𝐴 2. We have 𝐵𝐴 and 𝐞𝐵𝐿𝐴 live tomorrow. We'll also be live all evening tomorrow, so definitely make sure you guys subscribe, like, come back, do all the things. Look what the cat drug in. Hey, F. Troopin. Hey, Alcine. That's what I'm talking about. Hi, Chief. Okay, this police report is from Officer Stewart. On Sunday, the same day, June 14th at 3:57, myself and Deputy Catherine Hughes responded to 2103 West Volunteer Way in Springfield, Missouri for a well check with Deputy Mike Robertson. According to the call, Kimberly Blanchard reported she had seen threats towards her friend on Facebook and was concerned for her well-being. Upon arriving to the residence, Deputy Robertson and Hughes made contact with Kimberly and her husband Charles and other friends of the residence while I walked around the residence, searching to see if I could see any signs of forced entry or a better vantage point to get into the residence. The house, which was located on the north side of Volunteer, was a modest single-level residence with the house located next to it on the east side, a vacant lot on its west side, and a small wooded area and another house located to the north of it. All of the doors and windows I checked did not show any signs of being tampered with, and the only window without any form of window tint on it was located on the northeast corner to the rear of the house. Upon looking through the small portion of the open drapes of the window, it appeared lights were on in the room and that there was a bed next to the window. I was unable to tell if anything was disturbed or if anyone was inside the room. Upon coming around the west side of the house, I contacted Deputy Robertson, who advised me he could not see any signs of windows being tampered with or forced entry. Upon checking the resident's mailbox, I noticed that there were several articles of mail inside with the postmark stamp dated as far back as June 8th. After reviewing the mail, I went back to the rear of the residence and checked the window at the rear of the residence that allowed me any kind of view. Again, I could not see any signs of disturbance or if anyone was inside the room. While I was at the rear of the residence, I heard what sounded like something breaking around the corner of the east side of the house. I walked around the corner and seeing Deputy Robertson standing on the side deck, I asked what was going on. Deputy Robertson advised me that Charles, Kimberly, and their friends had pried open a window wanting to go inside the residence. As I continued walking around the house, Kimberly asked if they could go inside the residence and check. I informed her that would not be a good idea and that we could not give her permission to do that. As I continued to walk around to the front, I observed that Charles was already climbing through the window. Charles asked me if I would arrest him. I advised him that I'm not the homeowner and had not given him permission and wanted to press charges against him if, when uninvited, he could face charges. That is when one of the neighbors and friends of the homeowner stated that she would not care, and Charles went inside. After a couple of minutes, Charles opened the front door and stated nobody was home and did not see any signs of trouble except for several wheelchairs being inside the residence. While standing in front of the yard, I peered through the open door and observed no signs of a disturbance. Seeing no signs of disturbance, I instructed Deputy Robertson to have Charles and anyone inside to step out of the residence and secure the door. Why would they just go in when there's already police there? We're going to watch an interview from that guy too. Since the friends of the homeowner stated that both mother and child had medical issues, I instructed Deputy Robertson to contact the local hospitals to see if one of them had been hospitalized, while I contacted dispatch to see if there were any recent medical calls or incidents at the location. According to the dispatch, there had not been any medical calls or incidents since April 30th. Check well-being call that had been handled by an officer. After speaking with both hospitals, it was found that neither the mother or daughter had been admitted to the hospital recently. Concerned with the Facebook threats and not being able to locate any information to where the mother and child were, I contacted Lieutenant Jason Johnson and briefed him of the situation and asked him how he wanted me to proceed. After being briefed, Lieutenant Johnson instructed me to have the on-call detective notified and see how they wanted us to proceed. Since Deputy Robertson was a primary officer, I assisted him with paging the on-call and instructed him to bring him up to speed on what was happening. While waiting for the CID on call to call, I instructed Deputy Hughes to collect information from Charles, Kimberly, and the other subjects that were at the residence. Upon Deputy Timothy Haynes, the oncoming district car arrival, I had him start on attempts with pinging the available cell phone numbers we could obtain from the mother and daughter and attempt to contact hospitals in the Kansas City area to see if the mother and daughter had been transported there. This was because of a note that was found on the front door had a Kansas City Children's Mercy Hospital address marked on it. A short time later, Lieutenant Johnson arrived on the scene and took over the scene. After Deputy Robertson and Hughes completed obtaining the information needed for the report, we were released from the scene. Upon returning to headquarters, the information was entered into the report by Deputy Hughes, and Robertson's contacted records to have the mother and daughter entered as missing. Wait, so why did they think Dee was missing? She was unalived in the home, wasn't she? This is from Officer Haynes. On June 14th, I responded to Volunteer Way in reference to a mother and daughter who had not been heard from several days. I was also informed that there were some Facebook posts that raised concern about the subject's well-being. I arrived and met with deputies who were already on scene. I was informed that Detective Wallace was en route. Lieutenant Johnson tasked me with maintaining the crime scene log at the scene. I maintained the log until 6:15 when I was relieved by Deputy Hughes and Deputy Flood. I think we already read this one. Yeah, we did. Okay, and this is a consent to search. I, Alea, have been duly informed of my rights. That's the friend, to have a search made of the Samsung Galaxy, so they could pull her text messages with Gypsy. Authorized to take me from my cell phone and any merchandise. So she signed that on 6/15. Okay, we'll read this one and then we'll watch the interrogation. This is from Officer Hancock on June 29th. Corporal Angela Maholi and I arrived in Wisconsin, where she and I were met at the airport by Waukesha Sheriff's Department Detective Mike Toole and Detective Christopher Cole. Detective Toole and Colto transported Maholi and I to their office, where Gypsy and Nicholas were being kept. The following interview with Gypsy was recorded and logged into evidence. The following is not intended to be a transcript of the interview, but a summation of the interview. So I'm going to read through this and then we're going to watch the interview. I made contact with Gypsy and advised her for the reason of me contacting her. Gypsy said she was 19 years old and she told me her date of birth was July 27th, 1995. Gypsy had a hospital bracelet on her wrist and she told me the hospital put her date of birth as 7/27/91, which would have made her 23 years of age. According to her birth certificate, Gypsy was born on July 27th, 1991. Gypsy stated she had no idea why she was there and no one would tell her anything. She told me she was homeschooled, but she stated she could read and write. She stated her comprehension level was good. I read Gypsy her Miranda warning. Gypsy acknowledged she understood her Miranda warning by shaking her head up and down and then stated, sure. At the beginning of the interview, Gypsy denied having a cell phone. Later on, during the interview, she stated she did have a cell phone, but only uses it for Yahoo messaging and other social media sites. Gypsy denied being involved in anything and stated she was a person who was 100% honest. She confirmed she and Nick were boyfriend and girlfriend, and they met on a Christian dating for free website. She used her mother's laptop to communicate with Nick. It should be noted that at the beginning of the interview, she stated her mother would not let her use the computer because it was unsafe. I told Gypsy her mother was deceased, and she sat there for a few seconds and said nothing. She then brought her right hand arm up towards me and stated, wait, what? And she then just looked at me for a few seconds and shook her head to the left and right and continued to cry. She denied knowing her mother was deceased and she wanted to know what had happened. When I asked her why she hurt her mother, she stopped for a few seconds and said nothing while looking away from me. She then stated, we would never hurt her. She also stated, if anything, I don't tell lies. She again stated she would never hurt her mom, and she stated, I didn't do anything. She stated she understands things very clearly and she thinks she's being accused of doing this. She stated, I really don't know what happened. She then goes on to explain how she and her mother were having relationship problems. Dee Dee wanted Gypsy to stay a little girl forever, and she did not like her boyfriend Nick. Dee Dee told Gypsy if she wanted to go to Wisconsin, then she had to pack her belongings and leave. Gypsy packed some of her belongings. Gypsy says she was going to be kicked out of her mother's house, and she and her mother's problems and arguments were over her and Nick wanting to be together. This is wild. Hey, Killa. Good to see you. The computer turned out to be very unsafe. What's wild is she was on these dating websites. You know, she was all sick in her bed and handicapped and feeding tubes. But here she is on Christian Mingle, you know, so she was fine. She was fine. Gypsy chose to come here, referring to Wisconsin, to live with Nick. She gave Nick money to come to Missouri to pick her up. Nick asked his mother if Gypsy could stay with them, and Nicholas's mother agreed would be fine. Gypsy gave Nick money specifically for him to stay at a hotel in Springfield, Missouri. Gypsy then told me she does have a cell phone she uses to message people, and the phone was in her black Facebook bag at Nick's residence. She asked me if her mother had a heart attack because Dee Dee had several medical issues. Gypsy asked about the guardianship papers her mother had put in place if something happened to Dee Dee. She denied being threatened by anyone to talk about what happened to her mother. Gypsy was crying and she said she would have never left her mom. She made the comment, I honestly didn't do anything to my mama. She claimed she did not know who did this to her mother. According to Gypsy, Nick and Dee Dee did not get along, and Nick told her he hated Dee Dee. Dee did not want them to be together, and they were all getting on each other's nerves. Gypsy promised her mom she would stay away from Nicolas, and Nick told Gypsy it's us against the world, and he was going to protect her no matter what, and they were going to get married. She stated Nicolas was very kind to her, but he did not like the police. Nicolas wanted Gypsy to himself, and Dee Dee was getting in the way of things between the two of them. Dee Dee told Gypsy Nicolas was a head-in-the-closet type of person who unalives and kills a Jeffrey Dahmer kind. Gypsy stated she would have listened to her mother and broke up with Nick. Gypsy then looked up at me and apologized for lying to me. She said she loves him so much and now maybe he can get some help. She then blurts out, he unalived my mom. He was supposed to come visit her and meet Dee Dee. When Nick arrived in Springfield, Missouri, they were supposed to sit outside together on the porch. Instead, he walked inside the residence and started walking toward her mom's bedroom. Dee Dee was asleep in her bedroom. Gypsy got up to use the restroom inside the residence, and Nicolas followed her. Nick put her in the bathroom and locked the door, and then he went into Dee Dee's bedroom. Gypsy heard her mother crying and screaming her name. Nick then opened the door to the bathroom, and she observed blood on his right finger because he had cut himself on the knife he used to stab Dee Dee. Nicolas then commands Gypsy to clean things up. She stated she cleaned things up with baby wipes. She threw the baby wipes in the garbage. She said Nick took her to the bedroom and took all the toys off the bed, and then he graped her. When he was finished graping her, he made her grab a black backpack which had the wording Faith Book on it, along with a pink and color suitcase. He put her clothes, that was a typo, I'm sorry. He put her clothes and other belongings in the pink suitcase and the black backpack. He then called for a taxi cab to the house. She stated it was a Springfield yellow cab. She knew it was wrong to help him clean up, but Nick grabbed her by the neck and told her she had to clean up the blood. When Yellow Cab arrived at the residence, they took the cab to the hotel on Kentwood Street, which was later discovered to be the Days Inn, room 227, at Glenstone and McLaren, Springfield, Missouri. The next day, they went to the Greyhound bus station to leave for Wisconsin, but they were unable to get a ticket together to ride the same bus. Nick told the Greyhound employee Gypsy's name was Nicolas Godejohn, and he wanted people to think Gypsy was his sister. Since they were unable to get a ticket together on the same bus, they went back to the Days Inn and rented another room, 226, and stayed another night. They left on the Greyhound bus on June 12, 2015, which departed from Springfield, Missouri, and arrived in Wisconsin on June 13th at approximately 2 in the morning. Nicholas's mother had picked the two of them up at the Wisconsin Greyhound bus station. They stayed at Nick's mother's residence until the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department located them at the residence in Big Bend. She told me she wore a wig so people would not recognize her. She stated that all her belongings were at Nick's residence in his bedroom. Gypsy stated Nick and Dee Dee had an argument over the phone and she just wanted them to get along. She invited Nick to Springfield, Missouri to come and see the premiere of Cinderella movie in March of 2015. Her mother was jealous of the time she was spending with Nick. During the phone conversations between Nick and Dee Dee, she told Nick he was no good for her daughter and he was a creepy eye and it was creepy he was hitting on her daughter during a family movie. Nick told Gypsy he did not like his name being dragged through the mud by her mom. Nick told Gypsy he wanted to get justice and revenge for Dee Dee, bad talking to him. Nick told Gypsy he wanted to grape Dee Dee, but also he did not do it. Gypsy denied going into her mom's bedroom after she was unalived because she did not want to. She described the knife as being a long, sharp one, which did not fold. She was unsure where he got the knife. She stated if she knew what was going to happen, she would have never went with Nicolas, meaning she would not have had a relationship with him. They were together for 2 years, and Gypsy had talked to his ex-girlfriends who told her Nick was a controlling person. Nick was into BDSM, and Gypsy stated she agreed to it, I guess. She stated he was controlling, and all the sex they had in the Wisconsin all was consensual, but the sex they had after he unalived her mother was not consensual. Nick told her everything would be okay and he worshipped her. Gypsy said she wanted to protect Nick, but she doesn't want to go to jail because she didn't do anything wrong. Gypsy described what Nick was wearing when he stabbed Dee Dee. She described his clothing as a scary shirt, which was black in color with scary clowns on it, a black hoodie, black pants, and an off-white in color pair of tennis shoes. These items were still in Nick's room in a in a red in color Marlboro duffel type bag. She again stated to me she never went into her mom's bedroom after she was unalived. And she was so sheltered. How did she manage that? Right. Right. BDSM. Gypsy described to me how she was locked in the bathroom. She was walking down the hallway to the bathroom with Nick following her. She asked Nick where he was going, and he pushed her into the bathroom. He reached around the door and locked it from inside. Gypsy stated she never thought about unlocking the door to get out. When she heard her mother screaming, she put her hands over her ears and got on the floor between the toilet and the bathtub. During the unaliving of her mother, she describes the clothing she was wearing as being white in color nightgown with flowers. When her mother was being stabbed, she heard her waking up moaning and then a startled scream and then screamed louder, and then she began yelling Gypsy's name. At this point, Gypsy said she knew what Nick was doing to her mother. I asked her if she knew when she was put in the bathroom, if she knew what Nick was going to do, and she shook her head, indicating she did. When Nick was stabbing Dee Dee, he was telling Dee Dee she would not keep him and Gypsy apart from each other, and she would be dead before that happened. Gypsy said she heard Nick saying this to her mother from the bathroom when he was stabbing her. She stated Nick had the knife in his hand when he opened the bathroom door, and he did not want her to look at him. She cleaned him up and put a band-aid on his finger. She admitted to posting on Facebook the comment about that bee being dead, and I effing slashed that fat pig, etc., etc. She did this so someone would find her mother quicker, and so her friends would know something was wrong, and so she would give her mom a proper burial. She had done this from a computer at Nicholas's house, but used her phone to type the messages. She said Nicholas knew about the post, and she claimed she asked him if she could post it. The phone she used to post the comments was in her black bag at Nick's house. Gypsy said she was raped by Nick after he unalived her mom. When I asked Gypsy if all the other sex between she and Nick was consensual, she stated it was. I observed Gypsy to be wearing a white t-shirt with what appeared to be blood on the right shoulder, blue in color pants, black in color boots, and she had pink fingernail polish on both hands. I observed a round bruise on Gypsy's right arm, where she claimed originally was a hickey, and later claimed it was from Nicholas grabbing her and dragging her around the house. On both sides of her neck were some small bruises, and she told me they were hickeys she got from Nick. She was made to clean up the drops of blood. She was made to clean up the drops of blood at Nick's command, and Nick made her do it while she was naked. He got a container of Bissell carpet odor and stain remover from the kitchen and grabbed Gypsy by the arm and made her clean up the drops. The drops of blood went from her mom's bedroom in the hallway dining room, then into the kitchen. Nicholas wanted a drink of water, so he told Gypsy he could not touch any of the cups, so he wanted her to give him a drink of water. She cleaned up the blood with Scott brand paper towels. The paper towels were then thrown away in the trash can, then the trash can was taken out to the curb. Gypsy said her mother was unalived sometime on the 9th, but did not remember what day it was. She remembered it was the 9th because she was supposed to sneak out of the house and meet Nick outside on the above mentioned date. When I asked her about what Nick thought Nick might tell me about her having any part or knowledge of the unaliving, she stopped for a second and stated she did not know what he would say. She said he had a romantic notion they were going to do everything together. Again, she stated she had nothing to do with or had the knowledge about Nick wanting to unalive her mother. Her mother was wearing a blue in color nightgown the night she was unalived by Nick. Nick would not let her in her mom's bedroom when she was cleaning up the drops. Nick had called Yellow Cab Company from his cell phone after he killed Dee Dee. His cell phone was black in color, but she did not know what brand it was. When the cab arrived at the house, they went to the Days Inn. Not just paper towels, but Scott's, yeah. Gypsy is a liar at the end. They went and ate at the Waffle House next to the Days Inn. Gypsy said she drank some milk and forgot she was allergic to milk. They left and went back to the hotel where they slept for about 5 hours. They stayed at the hotel until the 11th. Then they got a cab to the Greyhound bus station at Kearney Street in Springfield, Missouri. When they could not get a bus ticket to ride the same bus, they went back to the Days Inn and stayed another night. They went to Walmart to purchase a soda, condoms, lip balm from Walmart. Gypsy did not go into Walmart but waited outside with the luggage. Gypsy had the same clothing on during my interview as she did when she and Nick left Springfield. She claimed she was not wearing anything on her face. However, the Greyhound bus video showed she was wearing sunglasses on her face. She then told me, "My thoughts of life between Nick and I are a lot different now." She never felt she was in any danger when she arrived in Wisconsin being with Nick. She described how Nick would do anything for her because he loved her and cared for her so much. She said Nick had an evil side and he needed to get rid of it. She said they got on the Greyhound bus on the 12th at 7 in the morning. They traveled from Springfield to St. Louis, Missouri to Chicago, Illinois, then to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, when Nick's mother picked them up at the Greyhound bus station around 2 in the morning. Gypsy denied bringing up the idea of unaliving her mom to Nick. She said Nick had an evil side to him and he didn't want to do it. He wanted to get rid of my mom. Oh, I'm sorry. He said that he did want to do it and he wanted to get rid of my mom. She continued to say he wanted to unalive her. When I told her she had left some things out of the story, she slightly shakes her head and says, "I know," but continues to deny having anything to do with the unaliving of her mother. Gypsy stated Nick would have committed unaliving himself if they did not kill her mom. I told Gypsy she was going to be booked in for unaliving along with Nicholas. I left the room and a short time later, Gypsy stood up and shouted she wanted a lawyer. Look at that. Is wild. After she got out of prison, she even got worse. Very strange person, manipulator, and that little who never loved anyone, not even her own mother, only herself. Hey, yo, she was getting it on. What is wrong with this picture? Nick was literally crying and couldn't get hard because he was freaked out. Oh, wow. Yeah, I have many thoughts about this. I have many thoughts about this. Okay, we're gonna watch the interrogation, which is so wild. I hope you're ready for it. She's evil. Yeah, I think so too. I do. You guys ready for this? Here we go. This is Gypsy Rose interrogation. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Wait, let me turn on captions. And I can't stand her voice. What's up with the voice? I'm not ready for it. Yeah, get your popcorn. I have a drink. Buzzballs is for after this live. But I do have, my Modelo. We're starting off easy. Her voice, I can't stand it. I can't stand her voice. This is Gypsy Rose. What is she doing? This is wild. And she's out there on the TikToks making heck of money. And she has a Lifetime show? What the heck? Oh, wait, you guys, no way. You guys can't hear that? Really? Can you guys hear me? You can hear me, but you can't hear that? It's fine. Wait. What's fine? Can you guys hear it or no? Someone said they can't hear it, and then somebody said they can. You guys can hear it? Oh, you guys can hear me, but not the video? Oh, no. Okay, tell me if you can hear now. Can you guys hear it? No? Only me? I wonder why you guys can't hear it. I'm sorry. Oh, I think I know why. Okay, let me know now. Can you hear it? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, how's the camera? Because like this is a new camera. That's why it messed me up. You hear the cuffs? Good. Good. That's what's going on. Let me know if you guys like this camera or the other camera. Let me know. But that's what my audio issue was. I'm sorry. Too many buzz balls. No, none yet. None yet. Hey, Triple P. No worries. It's all good. Thank you, Patty. Thank you. So kind. You guys are so kind. You know. Okay, I need to hear what she's saying. Is that her under the blanket? I don't know that. What the heck? Oh, it is. It's quiet though. Okay. Hopefully it gets louder when they do the interrogation. Mm, let me fast forward it and see if that's better. Shooting for some. Is that better? Is it? Okay, let me, I'm gonna move it over. Hold on. I want to make sure you guys can hear it. Okay. We can't make out what they're saying. Okay, let me know if this is better. I refreshed it, so hopefully it's a little better.
Has there been any news about the man that I came here with?
To be honest, I don't know a thing.
Thank you, Triple P.
I didn't even know you came here with anyone. That's how little I know.
Yeah.
So.
I was,
Perfect.
I'm originally from Missouri.
Thank you.
And,
Yay! Sorry.
My mom kicked me
Remind me never to get
She
new
was like, well, it's time to, grow up. So
new shit.
I got out of my own, and I called my boyfriend, and he lives in Big Bend. And he came down to Springfield to pick me up. Anyway, we took Greyhound bus, and everything seems fine. Our bus got delayed a little bit, but we got here okay. And then a couple days went by, perfectly normal. All of a sudden, we wake up to a loud knock at the door.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Waukesha County Police, you're under arrest. And well, he's the only one that's under arrest. I'm not really sure why I'm here. And
Beautiful witch.
and anyway, they took us, and I'm here. And I don't know what's going on with him.
Okay. Sorry, I can try and.
It's okay.
Or yeah, sure one of the detectives knows a lot more than I do.
Right. And I think I'm just waiting on someone from the county that I used to live in to come and talk to me.
Okay. Well, they should be coming back to talk about food soon. Then you can ask them your questions.
Then I had to go to the hospital and get some of my medicine because I have a seizure disorder.
Okay.
That's what kind of knocked me out.
Busy day, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird though. People seeing you in handcuffs, they give you this weird look, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like, okay, I didn't kill nobody. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I didn't do nothing. I'm a good girl.
Oh my god.
They'll get it fixed. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Witch Watch. You're so sweet. Thank you. She's creepy.
Good news. The female deputy just got here, so you can go to the bathroom.
Oh, hey.
Oh, I got a couple.
Does she have custody of her child?
Are there any movie theaters nearby?
Movie theaters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got a couple. There's one in Waukesha, Maryland.
Her mother just got slapped 17 times, and she's asking about a movie theater.
I really like to see the Jurassic World. It looks good.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I agree.
And I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I'm like, if I move to a place, I want to make sure they have a movie theater. Cannot miss Star Wars.
No? That's coming out soon, isn't it?
And December 18th.
December 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of months. I feel like they've been talking about that for years now.
They have. And for a while it was like rumored, and then they were like, "Oh, we're canceling it, and we're not going to be making them." And I'm like, "Oh man!" And then they decided to go ahead with them. I'm like, yay!
It's almost here.
Yeah.
Her voice.
I'm one of those super fans that like read
Well,
the
buckle down,
books,
Steve.
watch
Really?
the movies, read the comics, all that.
You used to dress up when you were in the movie too?
Oh,
Were you
yeah.
that big of a super
Oh
fan?
yeah.
Yeah?
They used to do midnight premieres where you'd go the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And well, they don't do that no more. They usually do a 7 o'clock one now on a Thursday.
This is creepy.
I remember I went to the midnight showing of Harry Potter.
Oh, I was there for all of them.
There was a bunch of people dressed up for that one. Yeah. Can't say I was one of them.
Oh, well, in
Yeah.
this past January, I got a chance to meet some of the cast
You did?
because my mom and I went on vacation to Universal Studios.
Okay, to the Harry Potter land or
Yes, and it was the Harry Potter Expo. So I got to meet the girl that plays Luna. I got to meet the twins, the Weasley twins,
Really?
Dumbledore, and Hagrid.
Wow. That must have been pretty cool.
It was. The twins are very nice. I mean, they're all very nice. The twins actually fit their personality on the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Basically the same people?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. How was the amusement park as itself? It always
Very
looks cool.
fun.
Is it?
Very fun. There are 2 sections of it. One is at Universal Studios. The other one is at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. But they're right next to each other.
Okay.
And they have the Hogwarts Express that connects the 2. So you can ride the Hogwarts Express to one
That's good.
and take it back.
Okay.
He
It's a
did.
different
That's true. It's
experience
with.
each time you ride it. And they have a bunch of roller coasters. The castle ride is my favorite.
I believe that's true.
It's kind of more, it's like a gliding ride, and it
Okay.
swoops you around,
Uh-huh.
and makes you feel like you're really flying.
Okay.
And the other one is, I think it's shut down right now because it's not working properly, but the Gringotts ride.
Oh, like you're in the
Yeah.
underground and
And
everything?
I
so
don't know if
weird.
you remember in the part 7, the 7th movie,
When they break into it?
when they break into it and they have to kind of like go that spirally thing. Yeah. Well, they have a simulated ride like that,
Oh,
where it's
wow.
kind of like a roller coaster and kind of simulated at the same time.
Okay.
And that was really good too.
That's cool. I'm sure all their lights and special effects are pretty
Oh,
exciting.
yeah. And they also have stage acts. So they have like a singer, Celestina Warback from in the books,
Mm-hmm.
and she does kind of like jazzy music.
Okay.
Then they have the frog choir, and they
Okay.
sing, and then they have the Tri-Wizard people that come from Durmstrang and Beauxbatons, and they do a demonstration that's really cool.
Oh, really?
So, and there's a lot of merchandise.
I can imagine.
So much.
I can imagine.
I bought me a little plush of Dobby.
Oh, did you?
And
Oh, that's awesome. With the pillowcase on?
yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
And a
Hey,
lot
Thomas.
of people, my mom and I bought the exclusive package. And that gives you one special night that they shut down the parks to where
This is what she's talking about after her boyfriend unalived her mother 17 times, stabbed her, almost severed her head, neck, and then she had sex while she was naked with blood all over her body.
and only the people that bought that package are let in. It's closed off to everyone else.
So it's like the VIP experience.
Nobody asked.
And they have this special
Us they does not love to
event where
do
they
that.
bring food out, and you can go walk around, eat free ice cream, and it's just the whole thing to yourself.
Really? How many people do they give that to? Is it
Um,
noticeably
I think
less
it's
crowded?
100 packages they
Okay.
sell. And they had a lot of people that didn't get the experience that me and my mom did, because a lot of people were rushing to get the autographs on the package it says that you get a guaranteed meet and greet. That's actually not true.
Okay.
You have to go to the park and
He's like, we didn't get our meet and greet.
morning, they hand out passes.
Okay.
Only one pass to each person to get an autograph. But it's first come, first serve. So there was people lining up at like 3 a.m. to get
I don't know what
a
she was
pass,
doing.
and people were climbing over each other and fighting for it and things like this. But my mom and I just talked to guest relations, and they were able to we made friends with actually one of the people that tell the celebrities like where they have to be, where they have to go and things like that.
Right.
So I guess one of the big important people we made friends with. So we got
Hey,
to
that's a
have,
good person to make friends with.
yeah,
You guys are smart.
yeah, we got to spend like 2
Yeah, I
hours
did
with
too.
them.
Oh, that's really cool.
So I got to ask all my questions, and the only thing I could think of was, "What's your favorite food?"
Really?
Yeah. And Luna's, or her real name, I can't remember her real name offhand. Ivana.
Okay.
Her favorite is breakfast cereal.
Any
She's
particular kind of cereal?
She didn't tell me. It's a British cereal.
Okay.
And as for the twins, they were actually really hard to tell apart.
Were they?
Yeah. And I kept getting confused. I'm like, okay, which was which?
I'm sure they
And
get that all the time.
they like their grandmother's clotted custard pudding.
Whatever that is.
I don't know what that is.
Sure, it's good stuff.
But they're all very nice.
Oh, I'm jealous. That's pretty cool.
And for the expo itself, they brought all of the props, and they had this big auditorium that had the props in it, that had the Horcruxes and the Hollows, and you get to do a bunch of cool stuff. You get to take a picture by like the Hogwarts Express, and then you by the Great Hall, and Pottermore was there, the website, and they were sorting people.
What is she
I
even
got sorted
saying?
into Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
And for years I've been a Gryffindor.
Hufflepuff?
I was having a major breakdown over there. I'm like, no, I'm a Gryffindor. Every quiz I'm taking is Gryffindor. I cannot be Hufflepuff.
So how did they do that? Did they give you like a little quiz to take or something?
When they were doing it, you could do it online, or you can do, or where I was
I'm
at, they can just sort you right on the spot like that.
Okay. Also, you actually got to sit up there in the stool.
I know.
But I also took it
Can
online.
she shut up about it?
And the funniest thing is you would think that Gryffindor is righteous and they do the right thing, and they're brave, but they're also good. But a lot of people telling me they're more like Slytherin than you would think. It's just there are more bad wizards that come from Slytherin than Gryffindor.
I think I've heard that.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and the quiz that I did, I was honest, and I'm like, a lot of my answers were true to my personality, and so I got sorted into Hufflepuff. But I guess Hufflepuff would have to be the most good. I guess you could say.
That wouldn't be a bad one to throw in it. At least it's not Slytherin.
True. Someone got Slytherin. He's like, yes.
Did you hear she's writing another book?
No.
Yeah, I can't think of what it's called. It's like it's based off the Harry Potter series. I forgot which character it's based off of.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I hope they make another movie. Well, they're going to be making another movie, but.
Are they?
But this one is like 60 years before Harry Potter. It's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Oh, okay. Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the book I'm thinking of too. Maybe I just got it mixed up and they're just making a movie.
I don't know.
Could be. Or hopefully
It's exciting.
This
Yeah,
is creepy.
ever since I was
I'm so weird.
little.
I forget how weird this is.
Long time ago.
But they're pretty good.
Very cool. Jealous that you got to go down to that. Or people carrying around wands and.
Oh, it was Harry Potter mania. It was like everybody was in robes, everybody had wands. It was pretty awesome.
Very cool.
And then at Disney World, I got to go to Magic Kingdom, and I went and danced the waltz with Prince Charming and Cinderella.
Really?
That was really fun. My mom and I got the Disney dining plan, which is unlimited food.
Okay.
A human being cannot eat this much food.
Too much food?
And we went and eat at Chef Mickey's. I had way too much sugar. Whenever you go anywhere in Disney, they try to pump you with sugar.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the night, it was closing time. I was so filled with sugar that I was dancing up and down Main Street at Magic Kingdom. And then it's nothing because the park was all closed. The castle was there. And I go through the castle and I touch the railing and I'm like, there's nobody else here.
So they got y'all hopped up on sugar at 11 o'clock?
Oh, yeah.
What the heck?
That was the biggest sugar crash ever.
I bet. I went to Disney World probably like
Right.
15 years ago now. The only thing
This
I
is
remember,
crazy.
probably even longer than that, was the big subway thing that was up on.
Oh, the monorail.
Yeah, the monorail to ride around. I
Mhm.
thought that was so cool. And then I think it was Epcot.
Mhm.
They had a bunch of different flavors of soda or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went through that.
Yeah, well,
You tried Beverly?
there was your
That's a really bad one.
Beverly.
Mm-hmm. That's the icky tasting one.
Was it?
Yeah,
There's a lot of weird.
they say it's from Germany, but they import it in especially for that,
Okay.
just for the icky taste.
Oh. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure that didn't help your sugar rush at all.
No, it's gonna be. I'm like one of these kids that like dare me to drink it. So I'm like, I take a full cup and I chug it all down at once. Swallow it, no bad taste. I'm like, I want more.
Really?
And then Mom's like, no, you have to sip. I'm like,
So that's where the difference came in.
mm,
I'm trying to think. I don't remember
I'm
anything
sorry.
really bad. It was so long ago though. What did it taste like? Just bad,
like rotten
unexplainably terrible.
eggs and a very, very bitter taste.
This explains
And
Those
a
Germans
lot.
are crazy. You never know.
to
now
me.
you know they're building a new section in Animal Kingdom, Avatar Land.
Really?
Mhm.
Based off the movie?
Yeah.
Really?
And they're gonna have the big tall blue people and everything.
I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm not surprised. Avatar was pretty big.
Yeah, it was. It was good, and they're actually coming out with 2 more movies. So,
2 more?
Yeah.
Really?
It's not until like 2 years from now.
Okay. Well, yeah, with all those special effects, they probably take a long time to make.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But my mom and I go down there probably once every 2-3 years.
Okay.
We save up our money, and we usually like to stay 3 weeks in Florida,
Wow.
just so we don't rush because there's so much to see. You can't do it all in one day.
Right.
So we usually do half park one day, take a day off, half park the next,
Okay.
and go like
That's-
that.
You know, play yourself out.
Right.
That otherwise, after 3 days, you're like, oh, I just want to go home.
At the end of the trip, I was pretty tired. And then my poor mom was there
Ooh.
at both places, Universal and Disney World, 12 of them. And she had to be taken by ambulance to Celebration Hospital.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
That was,
It's not a very enjoyable vacation.
well, I mean, besides
Just a little hiccup on the road, huh? 3 weeks before. Wish I could swing that. That'll never happen.
I'm trying to think how much it costed. It's pretty expensive.
can imagine. Disney's not a cheap place.
But it helps if you stay at a value resort instead of a moderate
When-
resort.
I thought they were gonna
Because all you're
interrogate
doing
her.
is like sleeping and taking a shower there. The rest of the time you're at the park or doing
Yeah,
something
you're doing
else.
other stuff.
Mhm.
Especially in Florida, the last place you want to be is inside your hotel room.
Right. And even the hotels, even the value ones are wonderful. They have pools and they have trivia night and movie night. So much to do.
How far away is Universal from Disney? Are they pretty close to each other?
They're about 45 minutes apart.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to go to Universal. Somewhere in
It's fun. They have a lot of stuff besides the Harry Potter thing. They have a lot of roller coasters. I'm not quite a thrill ride person though.
Okay.
But they have things like Despicable Me rides,
A resort
Shrek,
review
Transformers.
A lot of cool stuff.
and a Harry
Have
Potter.
you seen any of the Despicable Me stuff?
I love Harry Potter,
I
but
love those movies.
not when
Little
Gypsy talks
minions,
about
they're
it.
Those are so
so
funny.
cute.
Got little guys running around in yellow suits everywhere.
And they
She's
have a parade.
nuts.
And for the parade, they have you ever seen the movie Hop? It has the bunnies.
I was gonna
And
say,
Easter Bunny?
Justin,
I know she's like really young here and she's been through a lot, but this is so creepy to me.
but I don't think I've ever seen it.
How she's
Okay, well, they
acting.
have these three bunnies, and they're kind of like the Secret Service bunnies that protect the Easter Bunny.
Okay.
And
Like the Secret Service.
right, and there's some girl bunnies, and they wear like little pink berets,
Mhm.
and one has asthma, so she carries an inhaler. And I have
That's cool. Theme parks are fun. It's been all. I've been on vacation. And I don't want to think about it. Mostly taking vacation talk. You can be jealous.
well, the best time to go to Florida is in January.
January.
Don't ever go to Disney World in December. They say Christmas is beautiful. It is, but it is the most crowded possible.
But I bet Disney World gets really crowded.
Mom and I had went for Christmas Day one time,
Uh-huh.
and you couldn't even see the floor.
Really? You wouldn't think on Christmas Day it would be that crowded.
Well, I thought since they showed the parade on the TV, Disney World Christmas Parade, that it was on Christmas Day that they had the parade. They filmed it like 2 months early.
Do they really? Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so I'm like, oh, wait, no parade?
Interesting. That's gotta be strange. Like October doing a Christmas parade.
Yeah. It's one of their little secrets.
Should they have a lot of those?
And if you ever do get to go to
Did he say you have a lot of those?
Hollywood and
Secret?
Vine to Disney's Hollywood Studios and have dinner or lunch with an Imagineer. That's really amazing. Imagineer is who basically makes the parks, thinks of the ideas for all of the architecture,
Basically,
layout,
the brains
the
behind
brains, and you get to ask some questions and find out inside scoops about different things. And I'm a huge animal lover, I don't know if you can see by my shirt. But at Disney's Animal Kingdom, I wanted to make sure that the animals were being treated right.
Right.
So I asked him, I'm like, are the animals happy here? Or, you know, are they happy like they would be in the wild,
Right.
basically? And they're treated very, very good here. And they do have a program that the money that they make from certain things at Disney World, they give to, like, say, Africa to build natural barriers
Okay.
from elephants to humans or something that could protect the
What
animals
the
even
heck?
in Africa. So,
Very cool. That's good.
and let's see what else. friends that are going to work for Disney.
Really?
A girl from Springfield, she was like, I really want to work at Disney. So she's like, I'm moving to Florida, and she got an interview, and she's now working at Disney.
Really?
Hey, Triple.
But that'd be a pretty fun job.
Oh, yeah, I'd want to.
What is she doing there?
Right now, I think she's working at a restaurant.
Okay.
You have to start small, work your way to the top.
Exactly. Oh, good for her. That'd be fun. Be crazy, I bet. So many people all the time.
I know. Me, I'd go work there because I love children, and I'm like, that'd be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I do something similar to it. Have you ever heard of the 501st Legion? The 501st Legion of Star Wars. They're a costuming group that they're the people that dress up like the stormtroopers, like officially, and they go to hospitals and do things for charity.
Okay.
Well, I have armor that's a Mandalorian armor, like Boba Fett, but pink.
Okay. Very cool.
So, yeah.
So you go to hospitals and stuff, and
Oh.
that's cool. Very cool.
It's a lot of fun, and it just makes you feel so happy inside.
I bet. So is it the full-on outfit then?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
full armor. The only thing is,
Is it hard to walk in?
yeah, no, not really. The armor is pretty lightweight. They made it lightweight for me, but the helmet's
Delusional.
Sore neck after a day's work.
Nice.
Yeah, and you have to wear a certain kind of shirt underneath. It has to be like all black because like the tips of my boots, like right here, is some pink armor. Then I have right here that's armor. My gauntlets light up and they're pink. My chest plate, and I have a pink backpack, jetpack.
Okay. Wow.
And mail.
So how far do you travel to go to these hospitals? Or just like, is it one main hospital that you go to?
Well, it depends on where our group, how many of our group is wanting to do it and who can do it. Usually the hospital or the organization puts in a request. We consider it and see if it's, if it's something we should do.
Right.
And then after that, we check see how many members are available, and then we do it.
Very cool.
But we don't do birthday parties because,
it's not the same.
Right. And we would be swamped.
Right. So do you guys just kind of walk around and talk to people and take pictures, or do you put on a skit?
Well, we usually, what we do is we put on the armor, and it depends what character. We're usually not allowed to talk or take off our helmets.
Okay.
So we're supposed to be in full costume as long as we're visible. We have handlers. That's just someone to say, okay, you need to take your break now.
Okay.
And you go in the back and you take a break, get something to drink, and you go back out there and you just take pictures and you pose with your gun.
Does she ever just like shut up?
Well, that's cool. How often does it really depend?
It really depends, really.
That's what I figured. How long have you lived in Missouri for?
Let's see. Well, I'm a Hurricane Katrina survivor, and so is my mom. We moved there in 2006, but we lived in Aurora, Missouri for some time, and we just moved into that house, the Habitat for Humanity house, in 2008. So we lived in Springfield since 2008.
When you guys go to Florida, did you drive?
No, we flew.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Missouri to Florida would be kind of a long trip. Probably almost.
Not to mention we had to go up to go down.
Yeah.
Because we had to go to Chicago and then to Florida.
Oh, for the flight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. That'd be a long flight, though.
It was.
Especially all flight to Chicago, and you probably sit in Chicago for an hour.
But the airport in Chicago is really pretty because they have, in this one section of it, there's this big gold globe of the world, and then surrounding it they have all the different flags of all the countries.
Okay.
And that's at the Chicago here.
Like
Yeah.
she really doesn't know why
Really
she's there.
Yeah, I like that airport.
It's not because you were at Disneyland, Gypsy.
It's always fun.
I'm trying to remember, where was that airport that I'm thinking about where they had the creepy skeleton thing? Yeah, this creepy skeleton is a piece of art. It was horrible looking.
Doesn't sound like a very good piece of art.
But have you ever heard the story? I think it's a Greek story, and I don't remember the name of it offhand, but it's about a father that made wings for his son, and his son flew too close to the sun.
And they melted.
Right.
The wings were made of wax. Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, Disney
But I
World.
can't think of what it's actually called.
Me neither, but
I
I
should have
remember the
paid more attention
story.
in college, I guess.
My bad.
And anyway, they had this piece of art of the skeleton and the wings.
Okay.
And I just can't remember what airport that was at. I think that might be the New Orleans airport.
It's an odd statue to put in an airport.
Gypsy World.
And it always scared me.
Hilarious.
And I'm like, what is that? It looks like a gargoyle. And Mom's like, it's from a story. It's a piece of art.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing to put in an airport. I remember when Body World was in Milwaukee.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
is that the thing with the bodies?
Yeah,
Oh,
with like the muscles and everything.
uh-huh.
Well,
That's
to,
in
adver-
Kansas City. I can't.
to advertise it being in Milwaukee, I remember they put a couple skeletons in the airport.
Mm,
And I always thought that was a little strange.
that freaked me out so much. It came to Kansas City in Missouri, and I didn't even want to go because at first I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting because my mom, she was going to college to be a nurse. So I'm like, well, that's interesting. Maybe we can teach me a few things. And but once I found out they came from real bodies, actual people, I'm like, oh no, no,
Scared you off a little
not
bit?
doing that. No. That is just sick.
This is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a interesting art museum exhibit. I thought it was pretty cool.
You're brave. In Kansas City, they have Union Station, and a lot of things travel there. And the most interesting thing that I went to see was Princess Diana's dress, her wedding dress. They had the exhibit that came over from London, and it had different things of her childhood, and they had the iconic wedding dress. So we got to see that.
That's pretty cool.
And as well as the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Wow.
That was another exhibit. Titanic was another exhibit. So, a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, apparently. You've seen it all. Do you need anything? Are you thirsty or anything? Still got your apple juice? Okay. Remember, if you need anything, just let me know.
Thank you.
Are you a big fan of the barbecue then?
Barbecue.
Living near Kansas City? Are you a big
Believe it or not, I haven't tried their barbecue.
No?
No.
What else is down there that I can think of?
Yeah, it was 100 here today too,
Traveling
smog where I'm at.
A few days ago, whenever I was traveling on the bus, I saw the St. Louis Arch. Always
Agree,
something I
Augie.
had wanted to do when traveling by bus. You get to
No
see it.
emotions.
I'm like, oh,
A psychopath.
I remember when I was flying once, our plane
Literally.
had a malfunction. It actually started on fire.
Oh my god.
So then we did an emergency landing in St. Louis. And that's the only time I've ever seen it. But I've always wanted to go on top of it. Because you can go in it.
Well,
Pretty cool.
ever since I saw that program on TV, it was by TLC or History or something like that.
Right.
Life After People, and it shows what happens if all the people in the world disappeared, and the St. Louis Arch at the very top, at the very center, there's a weak spot. So if that falls, the two pieces connecting will fall.
Okay.
Because there will be no people to maintain it,
Right.
and corrosion will happen, and different things like that. I found it so interesting, so I'm like, I want to go see it.
See it before it can fall.
What?
Interesting. Yeah, because I think you can go up it.
I don't
There's,
follow
like,
how all this
windows and
seems
stuff that
totally
you can look out
acting.
of the middle. Almost positive. I just went to Chicago.
Mhm.
There's what's called the Sky Deck. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
I can't think of what building it is, but it's like 100
Yeah, I think she's acting for
floors up
sure.
or something like that. And they built like an extension of the building, and it's all glass. So you step out and you look.
I think she's a victim, but I also think she knows what
she's
she's doing.
But it's see-through, so you can see the. It was really cool. Very cool.
Wow. That sounds neat. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of the opposite. It's called megalophobia, and it's big things. So say if I was right here, this is the St. Louis Arch.
What
And
is she
Here
doing?
looking up, that would scare me to death.
Really? So you would probably do it all in a big city then, huh?
No. I've been to Kansas City so much that because my hospital was there. Because I had a bunch of different
Was a victim that
specialists.
became a predator.
And I go for dermatology and different things like this.
Yeah, Debbie.
And dental there. So we would stay weeks at a time in Kansas City. And we would have the bad stuff, which would be the doctor's appointments,
Right.
and then the good
Sorry,
stuff,
Uncle.
which would
She
be
can
the
walk.
fun stuff, like going to the plaza, and it's just basically a bunch of expensive shops, but it's quite pretty. See the plaza lights at night, and Union Station, Crown Center. So there's been some interesting things to do there.
Sounds like it. I like cities. Going to different ones and seeing how they're different. The Kansas City.
It's called the, they have a lot of fountains.
Do they?
Yeah, and I always call it, it's kind of a bad joke, but I call it Paris for hillbillies.
Paris for hillbillies. I like it.
What?
I wonder why they have so many fountains.
Hey, Patty. Welcome back.
Oh, but if you ever get to go there,
Yes.
make sure you go to Nelson Atkins Museum.
Oh, are you saying hi to
It's an art museum.
Okay.
I don't know
Usually.
if you like art or not, but they have the statue of
She's
Tinker
messing with my head.
that's there.
Like the guy who's like,
Like really? Yeah, I took a picture by it. And I did the whole thing. And they have a real mummy. And just a bunch of art and beautiful things, statues. It's huge.
Really? And that's in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. It's across from the plaza.
Across.
And it's far as I know, it's free.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
That's even better then.
I think the only thing you have to pay for is in case you want to see the traveling exhibit, which would be where you first come in, and it's the first area. But other than that, the museum is free.
Wow.
I'm shook.
Is it half in Missouri and half in
In Kansas,
It is, right?
yeah, they
The
have
river kind
KCK
I'm
and
gonna fast forward a little bit.
of good. Shrimp is probably my favorite food of all time.
sauteed shrimp.
Any kind of shrimp.
Oof.
Except for the coconut stuff. It takes away the flavor from the shrimp.
Never had that.
No? Coconut breaded or whatever it is.
Her hair's
I just
like shaved off because her mom did it, right?
good stuff.
I like them either fried or sauteed. Fried spaghetti.
And spaghetti?
But she didn't even need to shave it off. It was just her mom being nuts.
I think your shrimp's good at anything.
Yeah.
Just
But
put
one of
it
the
small
things is,
on. My ears do
It's
hurt.
kind of like jambalaya.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Fuck it up.
Spaghetti is similar to a jambalaya. You just have to add slightly different ingredients.
For example,
Like,
For jambalaya, you add your shrimp and your smoked sausage and your other seasonings, but you put it
now
over
she's
rice
talking about
instead of,
sausage.
spaghetti.
oh, okay. I probably like that better. Yeah, I'm not a big spaghetti fan. Jambalaya sounds pretty good, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tasty.
She didn't really have, no. That was all a lie.
Yes, a lot of people ask me, "You're from Louisiana? Do you like alligator meat?" I'm like, no, never had it.
I think I've had alligator tail once. At least that's what they told me it was. It tasted like chicken, so it's probably chicken.
I'm sorry, I can't.
It was either at State Fair, Summerfest. I don't know if you know what that is.
True, Aaron.
It's like a big
True.
music festival in Milwaukee.
Manipulated someone, yeah.
For foods.
Oh, it sounds fun. No arranged marriage.
She's a weirdo. Who wants to date her?
I
I said, "Gator makes me fun." Ew.
Company. All I could think of was Forrest Gump.
Who wants to date Gypsy
I've
Rose?
only been trawling once.
A same?
Okay, how was it?
Pink?
Not fun.
Not fun?
Not fun. Not for me. I don't like the smell.
How was it smelly?
It was smelly and sweaty.
Nope.
Can imagine. Probably hard work too.
That's
My
Water Boy
mom,
channel.
I did
Mom?
more work. I was only like about 5
Against some
at the
logic,
time,
I
You
miss
got to hang out
you.
a lot.
Yeah, I just got to hang out and watch my grandfather do it.
Okay, very cool.
I'm not from New Orleans. I'm from a very, very small town in the southest part of South. It's Golden Meadow, Louisiana.
Dude.
Golden Meadow. Alright.
It's by Grand Isle.
Grand Isle. I'm trying to picture. I can't picture Grand Isle. You got any other big cities near it that I can try and picture?
The closest thing would be New Orleans.
Yeah,
That's
that's
New
all
all.
logic.
Orleans
I'm so
is
happy
here,
you're
and there's a
here.
bunch of kind of like where Louisiana makes the boot shape, the tip of the boot,
Okay. So
the
you're
very
way,
bottom of the boot.
okay. Gotcha. You're way down there. That'd have been cool growing up by the ocean though.
It's mostly swamps.
Okay. So nice.
You can't go swimming too much. Muddy water. You think it's the ocean, you think it's all clean and everything, but it's all swamps.
Quite the opposite though.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit of this.
Was it warm when you went?
I really want to get to the interrogation part. Not about Disneyland.
Little cute black and white one. And what I didn't realize at first was that she had two perfectly
What is
shaped
she talking?
black hearts
This is
on her
Gypsy
back.
Rose.
She's all white, but has two perfectly shaped black hearts on her back.
Okay.
And I made her Facebook fan page. So,
Sweetie pie.
Princess Sweetie Pie.
2 black hearts.
Now she's 16 pounds.
That's a
1 year old, 16 pounds.
pretty big cat. It's a lot of food.
All she does is eat, sleep, and use the bathroom.
Isn't that the life? Eat anything?
No, sir. I'm a sleeping pea.
Sure, it's not the most comfortable blanket, but
It's better than nothing. When you've been hungry all day and you've had a scary day, like a blanket and a ham sandwich is quite comforting.
Well, if there's anything else, just let me know.
I'm trying to think of my Aunt Rachel's number. She lives in Kansas.
Try and get her to come back.
Is that a problem? Oh, get her next to me.
Should be 2 hours longer. It's already been like 2 hours since
Oh my god.
so.
What do you think that is?
She's creepy.
I'm still taking a nap.
Oh, she just said I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay. How you doing?
Thank you, good.
I'm Mike, and again, Stan's gonna come in and talk to you. All right?
Okay.
How you doing? Do you need anything?
No, sir.
No, you're all good. Okay.
No, sir.
There's some paperwork of yours here. I'm just gonna leave it outside the door so
No,
remember that it's here.
No, sir.
How's the sandwich?
Oh, it's very delicious.
I think you're the first person I've ever heard say that.
I eat them both.
There you go. That's all right.
I think someone's supposed to come in.
Right after, yeah, against all logic. We had a whole conversation about Disney World.
So, I'm from 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 here.
Oh. So hopefully I'll be able to just talk to the detective and go to the house where I was at because that's where my stuff is.
Okay.
This guy's like, yeah, okay.
Hey, Gypsy. This is Stan.
Hi, Gypsy.
Let you guys
Hi.
talk.
I'm Detective Hancock. I'm with the Green Sheriff's Office. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Doing all right? Good. Good. All right. Well, Gypsy, I'm here and I'm going to get a little bit of information from you. So, since this is the first time I've ever met you, okay? So, what is the correct spelling of your first name?
It's GYPSYROSE. And my middle initial is A.
Okay.
And my last name is BLANCHARD.
BLANCHA.
BLANCHARD is Blanchard.
Blanchard. Okay. With an E. Okay. All right. And your date of birth, Gypsy?
Is 7/27/1995. On here they have 91 because maybe it's a long story, but
Okay. Sure.
me and my mother are Hurricane Katrina survivors,
Okay.
and my birth certificate was washed away in Katrina,
Okay.
and unfortunately they messed up a long time when they messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95.
Okay. And that puts you at how old then?
I would be really 19, but on here it's
What?
Medicaid. My medical insurance has 23.
Okay. All right. So how old actually are you? Let's get that.
19.
19. Okay.
Social Security.
Yeah, absolutely. Gypsy, do you know your social security number?
Unfortunately, I don't. I brought my card with me,
Okay.
but it's at my boyfriend's house.
Okay. We'll get with that later then. All right. Now, how long have you actually lived there? in
Yeah.
Um,
Call the hospital
in
where you're
Missouri
born, lady.
Since 2006.
2006.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Do you work anywhere?
No.
Okay. All right. You ever have work since you've been in Springfield? Did
Never.
you work down in Louisiana or anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have family down there in Louisiana?
I have some, but unfortunately, we're not on good speaking terms.
Okay. All right. And now, do you have any family here in Missouri? I'm sorry, we're in a different state. So.
That's okay. I have my mom that lives in Missouri.
Okay. And is that it, or do you have anybody else?
Does friends count or not really?
No, like biological, like brother or sister, siblings, nothing like that. Okay, so are you an only child then? Okay, all right. What's some things that you like to do? I mean, what kind of hobbies do you like?
I love art.
Love art?
I love
Okay.
to go to the movies. I love animals.
Okay.
Just different things like that.
Good. Well, Gypsy, we are here investigating something, so I do need to talk with you about some things, okay?
I'm thankful because I have no idea why I'm here.
Okay.
Nobody will tell me anything.
She's like, I
Yeah,
have
that's-
no
that's
idea
fine.
why I'm
That's-
here.
That's kind of why we're here, to kind of help you out with that, okay?
Can I go to Disney World?
Uh,
Sir.
I am going to just read your Miranda just share real quick, okay? And as I'm reading this, if you don't understand something, I want you to stop me and say that you don't understand, okay? It's not being rude, it's not implied or anything, okay? And just let me know. How much schooling do you have?
Unfortunately, I was homeschooled, but my education is kind of scattered, so I have the basic of a third grader.
Okay. Do you know how to read and write okay and everything?
She says she has the skills of a
That's
third
spell
grader.
very good, but I could read.
Okay. How would you say your comprehension level is?
Good.
Good. Okay.
Oh, she said good.
You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law.
Her comprehension level is good, so she can comprehend. She plotted to
You have the right
unalive
to
her
talk to
mother.
your lawyer, have your lawyer present with you or you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be going to represent you before any question if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Did you understand everything that I read you? Okay. Do you have a cell phone number?
No.
No, not at all. Did you have a home phone?
My mom's phone.
Okay. What's that number?
417-833-8501.
Okay. 501. Okay. Do you ever do anything on the computer? Do you ever play games or anything on the computer? Do you ever mess with the computer or anything like that?
I don't really have a computer.
Okay.
No.
Did you ever have a cell phone?
No,
that you
she just
played around on or
dirty
anything like
sex
that?
talks
No?
on a computer.
No laptop or
No.
cable
My
fire or
mom
anything?
didn't let me use mine because she was like, it's unsafe. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why did she feel like that was unsafe?
My mom tended to be overprotective.
Okay.
But,
Does she?
yeah.
All right. It's understandable. I want to tell you that what I've got to talk to you about, if you're involved in this, you need to tell me that now. Okay?
I'm completely 100% honest.
And let me talk for just a second, okay? But if you're involved in this, then you need to be honest with me. And you need to tell me now and not wait till later. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want you to understand that there's just some things going on that you need to be made aware of, and I think that you're aware of it. Okay. All right. My concern at this point. Let me back up with something. You're here. Do you know where you're at right now?
Yes.
Okay. Where are you at right now?
I'm at the Waukesha Police Department.
Okay. All right. And how did you lived in Missouri at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you get from Missouri to here?
Not about a week ago. It was it all started when I met my boyfriend Nick.
Okay.
Okay. And we met on an online dating website. My mom had a laptop, and so I used hers.
Okay.
But
Let me back up a second for just a second, okay? Earlier when I said let's be honest with each other, okay?
Mhm.
I'll be honest with you as long as you're honest with me,
Sounds
okay?
good.
And I want you to understand that your honesty goes a long ways,
Mhm.
okay? You don't want something in this nature to be like a big snowball. We'll use that as an example, okay? You don't want that snowball to be so big
Mhm.
that you know how when you pack a snowball and it's real small,
Mhm.
and what happens when you start rolling it down a hill?
It's bigger.
It's bigger, okay? And what happens if you start telling lies? They get bigger.
Bigger and bigger
And you don't
and bigger.
remember which ones you said and which
Right.
ones you told. And as soon as that thing gets so big, it goes down the bottom of the hill and it crashes into a lot of people.
Right.
Okay? I mean, a lot of people.
Mhm.
All right? And it hurts a lot of people, right? Because it's so big, it crashes and hurts them.
Right.
Now, if you're telling the truth, that's not going to happen. Isn't that right?
Right.
Okay, so that's kind of why I want you to be honest with me about this, okay?
Absolutely.
About some things, all right?
Absolutely.
So we need to, I'm here, okay? Because I don't think that this is something that you, the intention is not wasn't there. You know, I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. I think that you're a smart person. Okay.
Really? You don't think she's a bad
that you,
person?
You know, sometimes you get dealt bad hand, and I think sometimes that's what's happened with you. Okay. And I want you to understand that you need to be honest with me, and if you're involved in anything that I'm about ready to tell you, then you need to tell me. Okay. Your mom's dead. Okay. Now, what I want to ask you is your mom's passed away. Okay, and she's deceased. All right. Now, what I want to ask you, did you have involvement in this?
Thank you, Against All Logic. I appreciate you. I've missed you.
Yeah, hang on, listen to me for just a second.
Oh,
Okay.
here we
I
go.
want you to understand
The
something.
waterworks.
Okay.
The fake ass
Remember
waterworks.
the snowball that we talked about? You remember the pencil that we talked about? I'm going to demonstrate something with a pencil here, okay? Look at me. Look at me for just a second, okay? Sometimes people are going along. You know how you got a pencil? You got the lead here and you got the eraser right here, right? You know what I'm talking about? You've seen a pencil, right? You've used a pencil before, right? Okay. And when you write with a pencil, you write your own story, right? Okay. And you take that pencil and you're writing along with your story. Well, sometimes some people make mistakes when they write stuff down, don't they? We've all made mistakes. You've made mistakes. I've made mistakes, right? You ever made a mistake in your life?
Yeah.
And I've made mistakes in my life. And hang on just a second, okay? When you're writing this stuff down, all of a sudden you make a mistake. Well, what do you do with that mistake? You take that pencil and you flip it over and you start erasing stuff, okay? And you erase it and you recorrect it. And you take that pencil and then you rewrite your story, okay? And I kind of think that's where you're at with this tonight, okay? That you have a chance to rewrite your story. And I think that that's what you can do, is you can rewrite your story tonight, okay? Like I said earlier, I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. You know, I don't think that that's you at all. And you're not out here, you know, doing things that are so bad that nobody wants to talk to you, nobody wants to be around you. I don't think that's you, okay? But what I do think, okay, what I do think is there's some stuff going on that you and I need to talk about. And why these things happen, okay? And that's where we're at with this, okay? Now, I want you to understand something, that you need to be, look at me, okay? Look at me for just a second, okay? You're in a situation where you can help yourself right now, okay? And that's what you need to do, okay? You've got to help yourself, okay? Because the more and more you let that snowball roll down that hill and get bigger, what's going to happen is it's going to explode. And that's what's going to happen with you, you know. You don't want that, do you? I don't think you do. I wouldn't want that. So we've got to rewrite history. We've got to rewrite some things, don't we? Okay? And I think that's where we're at with all this, right? What happened with your mom that night?
I don't know what happened with my mom at all.
Okay, you just listen to me, okay, sweetheart? You know what happened to your mom, okay? You know exactly. Sweetheart, listen to me. Let's not go down that road of taking your pencil and writing a bunch of mistakes.
Like, no, I just plotted
it.
it.
To a certain
I don't
point,
know.
that paper's gone, and guess what? You can't erase it, can you?
No.
You can't erase it anymore. Do you want that?
No.
I don't think you do. I think you're smart enough to understand where we're at with this, okay? I think you know, okay? And I know that you know, all right? I wouldn't be here if I didn't know. And I know the answer to a lot of these questions.
Mom.
Okay? I already know them.
Exactly.
Okay? I know them, and I'm giving you a chance to be honest with me, okay? Because you don't want this thing to spiral out of control. Okay?
No.
Your boyfriend's in here, okay?
He's here.
He's in here, okay? All right? And do you think that we've not talked to people?
No, I know.
Listen to me before you say a whole lot. Do not dig yourself in a bunch of lies, because what's going to happen, that snowball's going to get so huge, sweetheart, that it's going to explode on you, and you're never, ever going to dig yourself out of it. And do you understand me?
7 years later.
So I want to know, okay, why? Why?
That's true, Bubbles.
Why did you guys hurt your mom? Okay.
We would never.
Sweetheart, look at me. I've got kids. I've been doing this for a long time.
I know, sir.
And I want you to understand something. Don't dig yourself that hole. Don't go down that path, okay? Because listen to me for a second. You go down that path, and what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if you go down that path? It's not a path to go down.
If anything, I don't tell lies.
Okay, then don't sit here and lie to me, because if you do, what's going to happen is it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're not going to remember the ones that you've told other people. Okay, other people that I've probably already talked to. You understand that?
I understand.
Okay. Why?
Would you like me to start from the beginning?
I only want you to start from the beginning, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. And I'm glad you're making that progress, okay? I'm proud of you for that. But the first thing that we need to get out of the way right now is why. That's the biggest thing. You've got friends that love you.
Of course
and
I
care
know.
for you.
I know, and
You and your mom
yes,
got
of
friends
course.
that care for you.
I
And
know.
you know what? They're down the bottom of the scale with that snowball,
Mhm.
and they're asking all these questions. They're asking why.
I know.
Now, help me give them an answer.
23, smart dog.
Okay, you have to give me an answer as to why, because they are so concerned about you.
I know.
She was 23, I believe Debbie said in this video, and then she got 10 years in jail, and she got out at 7.
I have.
And the boyfriend
friends
got
in
life.
Missouri. I know that.
Okay.
And
She should have got life.
I've
I'm
never
sorry.
had
This
my
is
Okay.
crazy.
Sweetheart,
Is she
you
really
wanna dig yourself-
rehabilitated?
You're digging yourself deeper.
no,
Okay?
seriously, I've never
Rehabilitated?
hurt
Listen
her.
to me.
Quote,
Listen
unquote.
to me. Okay. I don't play around with that. Okay. I'm not going to play around with this. Okay.
Sir, I didn't do anything.
Rehabilitated.
Listen to me. Don't let that snowball get bigger, because that's what you're doing right now. Okay. You have a chance. You have the opportunity right here and right now. Because once I walk out that door and that opportunity's gone, guess what? It's gone. It's just like when that paper's taken away and you're writing that pencil, you don't have a chance to erase that mistake. Okay. You need to, in your family, in your friends, you don't have very many family members, but you've got a lot of friends. And we've talked to them all, okay? And every one of them want to know why. That's all they want to know. They still love you. They still care about you. Listen to me for just a second, okay? All they want to know is why. And I have to give that to them, because they can't sleep at night. Because they want to know why. That's all they want to know. Okay, that's all they're looking at.
Sir, I have a million questions right now.
Okay,
So,
you know what? And I'm proud of you for wanting to ask those million questions. And you know what? We can answer those, okay?
okay,
But we got to get down to the bottom of why.
okay.
Okay, the why. And your friends
The why.
are very, very concerned about you. They all love you. But guess what?
Sure,
Those friends are standing at the bottom of that hill,
I
and
understand.
that snowball
I
is
understand.
getting ready to crush them, because they
I
want
think
to
I've
know
said
why.
things very, very clearly. You think that it's me? Why would you think that it's me? I have always loved my
Listen to
mom.
me.
My mom and I are best
Listen,
friends.
listen to me.
Best
Listen to me.
friend.
Please
Oh,
don't
yeah, I
do
love
it.
that you can't stand
That's
her.
what you're doing. You're still doing it. Okay. What do you think? Do you not think that we've already talked to
Oh, you rather talk about
people?
Gypsy?
Okay. Do you not think that we've talked to everybody? I mean, I'm not going to come in here without having all my things in line. Okay, I want you to
Hilarious.
understand that.
Of course, I understand that. And
We need to get to the why. When we get to the why, then all these other questions I can answer
The
for you,
why.
and we can move on with this. Okay. And you're the person that knows the why. You're the only person that knows the why. Okay. And that's where we're at with it. You're the only one that knows the why, and your friends.
sir,
Do you really want to disappoint your friends?
no, of course not.
Okay, then why?
May I please speak?
Well, when we get to the why this happened,
It's all no.
I don't even really know what happened.
okay,
I came here because my mother kicked me out of my house. She and I were having relationship problems. I guess she wanted me to stay a little girl forever. She didn't really like my boyfriend. And she was like pretty much,
Wanted me to stay a little girl forever.
if you want to move to Wisconsin with him, fine, go. And I packed my stuff. She basically wanted me out of the house before then because we kept on having arguments. But I'm not a violent person. I would never ever hurt her. And a lot of our arguments stemmed from being with Nick. And so I just basically chose to come here. I gave him money to come here, and I said, can you please come pick me up? Because my mom's kicking me out the house real soon. And that's when he asked his mom, could I stay with his mom and him and his stepdad and his little brother? His mom said, fine. So, anyway, I don't exactly know the exact date he came to Springfield, but I know that I gave him the money to stay at a hotel. And, anyway, I let him know that,
Hey, hang on a minute. Okay. We're going in a totally different direction here. Okay. We're going to get back to where we started from. Okay. You listen to me, okay? Let's get back to the why. We can talk all night long about this other stuff, and I'll sit here and I'll listen to you, and I'll listen to everything. This investigation is very thorough, okay?
Wow.
And there's a lot of whys, and you need to answer those whys, okay? Give yourself. What about yourself? Give yourself the peace that you need. You need a lot of peace within inside of you, okay? You know, once you get this off your chest, you know, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself, first of all, okay? And your friends, okay?
my friends know me as a sweet
Yeah, you're right.
and as
You're
I
right.
am.
But you know what? Sometimes sweet people make mistakes.
My friends
Everybody
know me
does,
as a
okay? You make
sweet
mistakes, I
girl.
make mistakes. But you know what? I'm glad you're not this person that's out here going around and doing this to a lot of other people, okay? I'm glad you're not that person. If you are, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to be in the same room with you if that's you, okay? But I think what it is, I think there's a lot of frustration in your life. I think you know, there's some things that you and your mom, you know, you've already said that your mom, you kind of had some arguments and you kind of had some strained relationships, okay?
But we worked
And
through
you know
it.
what? And you work through it. You're right, you do. But sometimes
Did you work through
that
it?
can get the better of people, okay? And I think that's kind of where you're at with that. I think that you're stressing your life because your mom wanted you to stay so little all the time. Finally got to a boiling point, and you just said, you know what? I'm done. You know, no matter what, Mom, I'm going to go with my boyfriend. I'm going to do whatever I want now. You made that decision, okay?
Yeah.
But we need to get to why this happened to your mom, okay? You know what? People make mistakes every day. You do, I do, we all do. We've established that.
She
I
was
want
not
to establish it every time because you know what? That's what this is. It's just a mistake. That's all it is. Okay. It's not something that's so huge out here and it's just, oh my gosh. It's a mistake. It's a simple little mistake.
My mom.
It's just a simple little mistake is all it was. Okay.
a simple mistake.
I don't know.
You,
If I knew the basic facts of what is going on,
sweetheart.
my friend had I do have a phone, but it doesn't call people. I just basically used it for Yahoo messaging app, and
For sexting.
one of the people that had texted me, I had texted him that I was leaving home, and he texted me, and he's like, "Are you okay? People have been posting some stuff on Facebook," and I asked him what post, and unfortunately, the police came before I could even read what he was saying. So I guess he was trying to tell me something.
Okay. Do you see that that's what all your friends are wondering why?
Mm-hmm.
Even that friend that you're talking about is wondering why.
Mm-hmm.
Aaliyah's worried about you.
Aaliyah.
Oh, her name was Aaliyah. I was right.
Look at me.
Aaliyah's always been a bully to me.
Okay, but look at me. This time is different. This time is a lot different. She's very concerned about you, sweetheart. Very.
What about my Aunt Rachel?
Okay. Why did this happen?
I don't know.
You do know why it happened. Okay.
I don't know why it happened.
Let me tell you something. Walk out that door.
Did she have a heart attack? She was
Hey,
sick.
look at me. We're not going to play those games. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm here to do. Okay. Then start being honest with yourself. And start being honest with me. No, you're not. Okay? You're not a bad person. I don't care what anybody's ever said to you. I don't care what your family's ever done to you.
I'm sorry.
I don't care that maybe somebody's bullied you or made fun of you. Okay? Well, you know what? All that rage gets picked up inside. That gets so overwhelming to anybody. I don't care if it's you, me, somebody else. And you know what happens? You explode. Everybody does.
Yep.
I go to church
Okay.
and I take communion and I release all of that.
Okay.
She said
And
she
that's
goes
fine.
to church and
I'm
she
proud of you
releases
for that,
all.
okay? And that's something
you're
that you
right.
need to continue to do. Okay. But there again, people make mistakes. Okay. You know, Jesus got angry in the Bible, did he not? And
Yes.
flipped the tables over, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So even he gets angry. Okay. But all your friends are still down here.
Mhm.
And all they want to know is why. They don't care about the details. They just want to know why. And they're concerned for you. And they still love you and they still care for you.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, there's still a lot of people there for you.
I know.
And every one of them's asking me, why? 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 Detective Hancock, why? Why?
Well, she's
I
Detective
don't know
Hancock.
if you know this, but my mom had guardianship papers for me, because
Oh, they retracted that. Maybe because they're talking about her
and
health.
Ray.
Okay. Can we talk about why first? And I'm glad you brought that up. Okay? Because I've talked to them.
Okay.
And you know what? They're the group of people that sitting down here asking me why. Detective Hancock, why? Why? With tears in their eyes. Detective Hancock, why? Why?
Why don't you tell me why,
You
please?
tell me why, and then I'll tell you why.
I don't know why.
Yes, you do, sweetheart. You know exactly what's going on.
I don't. Please, I don't know what's going on.
Sweetheart, look at me, okay? Stop letting this get out of control. Stop. Yeah, you do know. And that's smart. I'm proud of you for saying that you know, because you do know. And you're going to let this get so far out of control that there's no way you're going to dig yourself out of it. And I'm here, okay? Because your family and your friends, and I know all of them are just your friends and they're not your family, but you might as well consider them family.
I do.
Because every one of them care about you.
I do consider them.
And I get phone calls all the time. Mr. Hancock, why? Why? Mr. Hancock, that's all we want to know. Why? We still love her. We still care for her, but why? Mr. Hancock, we love her to death, but why? We love Gypsy. We care about her. Your Star Wars people, your buddies, every one of them talked to me and said, hey, we want to know why. Hancock, we love her. Tell her we love her, but we want to know why.
I just imagine how many people you've talked to.
And they all, you know what? And everyone wants to know why. They don't care about anything else. They just want to know why. So what am I supposed to go and tell them? What am I supposed to do? Okay? Because
I'm just wondering, the question you're asking, why? What happened? Why did I come up here? Why did something happen to my mom?
And that's what I'm asking. Why?
She had a lot of medical conditions.
Okay. This is not a medical condition.
Wow.
You know that.
She knows
It's not
that,
a
yeah.
medical condition at all. Okay? All your friends and family,
Please,
if I can't go home,
please tell me.
listen to me. If I can't go home and tell them why this happened, that's all I want to know. If I can't go home and tell them that, guess what? They're going to wonder the rest of their life. It's going to hurt them.
Please tell me she did not commit suicide. She had bipolar.
Okay,
And
we're not going to get off on that
She's
track.
bipolar.
We're not getting off on that track, okay? You know what happened.
It's a lot more than that, I
You
think.
do know what happened. You were there, okay?
wait, no,
Yes, you were. You were there,
I wasn't there.
okay?
I told you I got kicked out.
You're leaving stuff out.
She lied.
You know something, and you're afraid. You're scared.
I am afraid, and I am
Are you
scared because
afraid?
I don't know what's
So
going
has
on.
somebody threatened you?
What do you mean threatened?
What do you think a threat is? What do you consider a threat?
I'm shook.
I'm gonna kill.
Somebody ever said that to you?
No.
Yes, they have. And I know who told you that.
Nobody's ever said it to me.
So you're telling me you've never been threatened?
Well, once by a stranger at Walmart.
Okay, I'm talking more recently.
A stranger at Walmart?
No.
Okay. How far are you going to let this snowball get? How big are you going to let this snowball get before it just explodes? You want to let it get just so big, so huge, that even your family and friends won't ever talk to you again?
No, of course not.
Because right now, all your family and friends,
We
every one
see
of
through
them,
the lies.
they're there. They're still supporting you.
Of course.
You know why? Because they love you.
I know they do.
And I've even had some of them tell me that they love you. They said, Mr. Hancock, when you go talk to her, tell her I love her. Tell her that I care about her and I still love her. I said, you know what? I will tell her that. I will tell her that you still love her. But guess what? I can't do that because they asked something else of me too.
Thank you, Michelle.
They asked me why.
I appreciate that.
And I told them, I said, you know what? I said, this girl sounds like a smart girl. This girl sounds like a girl that, you know, she's going to be honest with me when I go in there and talk to her. She's going to tell me why. And then I can come back and tell you people this. And they said, good. Because we love her. Totally love her. So I'm telling you that your family and friends love you. And I'll tell you who they are. But we've got to get to a certain point before we can get on with that. And I know you want to hear that. I know you do. I know you, sweetheart. I know you love your mom. I have no doubt that you love your mom.
Oh, please.
I should have never.
Good. Listen to me, okay? I know you love your mom. And don't you think your mom loves you? Don't you think your mom just is worried about you? Loves you? Okay? But we gotta get down to the bottom of why. Okay?
Blows my mind. She's still not in prison. I agree.
My mama.
Who did? Who did?
I don't know.
Do we want to go back to square one? You don't want to do that. We're too far into this. You don't want to go back to square one. How can I go back and tell all your loved ones and your
Why are you
friends
crying?
that you love them and you told Mr. Hancock why this happened? Because I go back and I tell them, hey guys, I can't tell you why. They're gonna be sad.
There's no crying, babe.
There's so many of them that protect you and want to protect you. And all of them have told me this. Everybody I've talked to says, tell them you love her. Tell them you care about her.
Oh, jeez.
Tell them we'll stick up for her. But you know what? Guess what? Every one of those people asked me, why? Why did this happen? And I said, you know what? I said, I'll talk to her. I said, she knows why. Okay? And you do. And you know why. Just because we do bad things doesn't mean that other people don't love us. Doesn't mean that your mom doesn't love you.
Look, I'm going to tell you this, but please don't think I did it because I did anything to my mom because I didn't. Look, Nick and my mom didn't get along very good.
Okay.
But that's all I know.
That's all you know.
So why do you think Nick did this?
I didn't say he did.
Sweetheart, I already know. I've already talked to people. Okay? And right now,
He said that he hated my mom, but because my mom didn't want us to be together. But I was getting on my mom's nerves. Her nerve medicine was running out. Her patience was getting very thin for me, sticking up for him every time.
good job. I'm proud of you. You did a good job.
And so she asked me to stay away from him, and I promised her I would.
Okay.
And
And then what
but then
happened?
she just said, well, if you want to go, go. I guess out of love she did that.
Okay.
Because she wanted me to be happy.
So why did this happen to your mom? What was the reason for it?
I don't know. All I know is that
Why didn't it hurt her? Sweetheart, what was his reason behind this? And we're back to that why.
I can't see why. He knows I love my mom. He knows that she's the most important thing to me.
So why do you think he did this to her?
Well, on the nerve meds. Right.
He only said something to me that he said that it's us against the world and that he's going to protect me no matter what, and that we were going to get married and everything and nothing was going to stop us.
Okay, even your mom. So he took care of that, didn't he?
What do you mean? I don't think he would ever hurt her. I mean, he's very sweet. He's very kind.
Very kind. He stabbed her 17 times.
He doesn't like police that much. He's kind of a radicalist, I guess you would call it.
Okay.
But,
Sweetheart, your mom loves you very much. So we're not going to go off on what Nick believes and what he doesn't believe. Okay? But we're going to start talking about why Nick did this to your mom. And you know why he did this. Don't let your friends down. Don't let those ones that still are there and got your back and still love you. Don't let them down. Don't do that to them. Because every one of them still love you. Let's not do that to them. I don't want to do that to
I
them.
honestly would never hurt my mom, but I'm not.
But why did Nick hurt her? Now's the time to be truthful, sweetheart. No more lies.
The only reason I can think of is because he wanted me to himself.
Okay.
Because my mom kept getting in the way of us being together.
Sure she did.
He wanted me to himself.
She didn't want her little baby girl to grow up. She wanted to keep her little baby girl young, didn't she?
She said that there was something dangerous about him. She had a way of reading people.
Okay.
And she said that he seems like the head in a closet type of person, the kind that murders and kills, and
Your
like
mom was right.
Jeffrey Dahmer kind of person.
You think your mom was right? You know your mom was right. You hit her right on the nail on the head, sweetheart. You know your mom was right when she said that.
Oh my God.
You should know what? Okay.
Every time he says that, she like squeals. Mom was right.
Okay.
Loony mom. I think she was loony too. R.I.P.
You tried to stop him.
R.I.P.
Was
Dee
it too
Dee.
strong?
He was very strong.
Was it hard for you to try to stop him? It was very hard for you to try to stop him, wasn't it? He's too strong, wasn't he? Yeah, I see that. Look at me. Did you try to stop him? Okay. Hey, I'm proud of you. Look at me. I'm very proud of you for that. Okay, this is about a step in my direction. Okay. How did you try to stop him? Did you try to pull the knife away from him? Was that a yes? I can't guess with your nodding, so that's why I'm asking you. It looks like you're shaking your head up and down. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. What did he do with the knife after all this was done?
Right?
I'm sorry that I lied to you from the beginning. I'll tell you the truth all now.
Okay, good. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I love him so much. maybe he can figure it out now.
Okay.
For his silent ways.
Maybe you can.
He killed my mom.
You killed your mom.
Yes, I know it.
How did you do that?
He was supposed to come visit me.
Okay.
And I thought we were gonna go outside and we're just gonna sit together for a while on the porch. And
Out at your mom's house?
yeah.
Okay.
And he came inside and he started walking to my mom's room, and I told him that he needed to go outside. We need to go outside.
What was your mom doing at that point? Was she asleep? Or
She
awake?
was asleep, and I got up to use the restroom. And at that point, he had put me in the bathroom, and he had locked the door.
Okay.
And he went to my mom's room, and I heard her cry. And heard me scream for my name.
You heard your mom crying. You heard your mom crying, and you heard your mom calling out your name.
And then screamed.
She was screaming.
And
Proud of you, sweetie.
and he opened the door, and he was covered. His hands had blood, and he had cut himself on his finger.
You know if it was his left hand or his right hand?
It was, gosh, I think it was this hand.
Okay.
And what happened was,
You're right, Debbie.
I had, he commanded
I didn't even catch that until now.
clean him up,
Okay.
and
How did you do that?
I cleaned things up with wipes and
With like what kind of wipes?
baby wipes.
Baby wipes. Okay.
Baby
Did you use
wipe?
Baby wipes.
I'm still stuck on that.
Like in the bathroom trash or
The garbage.
in the garbage?
He cleaned up the blood naked with baby wipes.
This is, you don't know how he is.
Okay.
You don't know how he is.
So much for leaving any evidence
You don't
behind.
know how he is.
Any fingerprints.
Go ahead with your story. Okay. You're doing good.
And I was in shock, and then he took me to my bedroom, and he made me take off all my toys off the bed.
So it made you take all your toys off your bed? Okay.
And he raped me,
And he raped you?
and then after he was finished, he made me grab my bag, and
Grab your bag?
my bag to pack stuff,
Okay. What was in the backpack?
stuff like soap and things, clothes. He picked out clothes for me.
Okay. What did the backpack look like?
It's a black backpack that says Faith Book,
Faith book on it?
Mhm.
Black backpack? Okay.
and a pink suitcase.
A pink suitcase?
And he put my clothes in there. And after that, we called a taxi.
Okay.
And
Do you remember what taxi company it was?
just Springfield, yellow cab.
Yellow Cab? Okay. All right.
And I know that helping him clean up was wrong. But he said I had to, and he grabbed me by the throat, and he said I had to.
Okay.
And so that's why I did it. And we took a cab back to his hotel.
Where was the hotel at?
The Days Inn on Kentwood Avenue, North Kentwood.
Okay. So over by One-Stone Avenue? Okay.
It's like by the Cracker Barrel.
Oh, okay. All right.
And we stayed there, and until we can get a bus, a Greyhound bus. But the Greyhound bus that he was going to take to go back to Wisconsin, it was too full for me. So, and he told them my name was Bella Godejohn,
Okay.
so they couldn't track me. And so we took the Greyhound bus and we came here where we stayed for a few days at his parents' house.
Okay. Why were you wearing a wig?
Because my hair is fully grown out and he didn't want people to recognize me.
Okay. Where's that wig at now?
Back at his house. All my stuff is at his
Here?
house.
In
Here
Okay.
In Big Bend.
Oh, in Big Bend? Okay.
And I have money there. I have my social security cards there. I have an extra feeding tube there.
Okay. So you got all that extra stuff there.
Yeah,
Okay.
important things that I have to get back.
Okay.
That I have to
What's
get
gonna
back.
happen to me, sir?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, and we'll talk about that, okay? I want to get a few more things out of the way, okay? You said that when you were in the house, you guys were supposed to go outside. Had him and your mom, what was him and your mom
She
arguing
didn't know.
previously?
She didn't know he was there.
Okay, so she had no idea he was there.
No.
Had they argued or anything before? Or, why did he? And we're back to that question of why. And I want you to tell me why he did this.
I know why.
Okay.
On the phone, they had an argument. I wanted them to get along so bad. And I invited him to come in March to see Cinderella with me. The
This
movie.
past March?
The
Okay.
movie Cinderella. And anyway, unfortunately it hurt my mom's feelings because I paid more attention to him than her.
Okay.
And anyway, she didn't like him from then
That's weird.
on. And I called him to try to talk to him. And he told me, I talked to him for a little while and was like, "You're not good enough for my daughter. You're a creepy guy, and it's creepy that you were hitting on my daughter whenever we're going to a family movie." And he doesn't like his name to be dragged through the mud.
Is
And
that something he's told you, or words that he's used, or okay? So he told you he didn't like his name being dragged through the mud by your mom. Okay.
and he said that it was his way of getting justice or revenge.
Okay. Do you know what he meant by getting justice or revenge? You know what he meant by that? What did he tell you?
He just said that that she had bad talked him, that she deserved it.
And he says, did he say she deserves it, or did he say she deserves?
How is her net worth like? I think it's like 5 million. This is ridiculous. She's a murderer.
Something else or something different?
Well, he
And
said that
you
he
can
would
use
have
whatever word you want. No trouble.
I'm sorry.
done
Not sorry.
way worse if he didn't care about me. He said he wanted to originally rape her too.
Okay. Did you go in and see your mom?
No. I didn't want to. No.
It's like 3 to 5 million.
I know it doesn't make it any easier, but I'm proud of you. Can you describe the knife to me?
I don't think it was, Michelle.
Would it be like a folding knife, a switchblade, a butterfly, or something?
We're going to
different?
cover him tomorrow. We're going to cover this for the rest of the week.
A
That's
long
all
knife.
That's all I know.
Would it unfold, or would it fold up, or something different?
I don't think it folded.
Okay. Think it was just a knife with a handle, or something different?
It looked like just a handle.
Do you know where you got that at? Wasn't from the kitchen at your guys'
I'm
house?
not really certain.
Do you know what he did with the knife after all this?
No.
I think so too.
Are you positive?
Sir, I loved my mom so much.
I can tell you did.
I would know. And I don't
Wow.
So if you would have known this was going to happen, you would have never went with him. When you say you were with him, what do you mean by that?
I was never got involved with him.
Never had a relationship with him?
We've been in a relationship for 2 years and 7 months. And in that time, his exes have told me that he's very controlling. And he's into that thing, BDSM, the
You are too,
fetish
Gypsy.
thing.
That's a sexual thing. Okay.
And I agreed to it, I guess. And I guess that's not nothing wrong with him being a little controlling.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine.
Did anything ever happen here when you were in this state? Sexually, I mean, was all the sex that you had here in this state, was it consensual?
It was consensual.
Consensual, okay. But in Missouri, he forced himself on you. And when did that happen?
After he
Killed your mom. How did that make you
Hey,
feel?
HCB.
horrible because of her.
Okay. Where'd you guys have sex at?
After what happened in my bedroom,
Okay.
we went back to the hotel, and he kept telling me that everything was going to be okay, and everything that he did was for me because he worships me, and he wanted us to be together.
He wanted you guys to be together, told you everything would be fine.
Mhm.
What did you think that he meant when he said that?
I thought he said he wanted to marry me.
Okay. How did that make you feel when he told you that?
Happy.
Sure.
I don't think Nick was all there, but she literally thought of the plan. She created this. I'm not defending Nick. I'm just saying she should still be locked up.
Because we talked about getting married
I
before.
can't get over it.
But you knew your mom was dead
Thanks, F.
at
Troopin.
that time. Is that correct or not?
That is correct.
That's correct. Okay.
Thank you.
I wanted to protect him. At the same time, I don't want to go to jail.
Okay.
Because I didn't do anything wrong.
This is why, from the very beginning, when I talked to you, that I said, your involvement in this, and you need to tell me, okay? Because I don't want you lying to me. I don't want you leaving stuff out. Okay. What was he wearing that night that happened?
A scary shirt. It was black and it had clowns on it. Scary clowns.
Scary clowns, black shirt.
I agree,
Can
Audie.
you describe any other clothing that he might have been wearing?
A hoodie, a black hoodie,
Black hoodie.
and black
Hi.
pants.
Black pants. Okay. What about his shoes?
He wears the same shoes.
Do you remember what color those were?
Like an off-white. He only has, I think, one pair.
Okay. Does he still have those?
If he's wearing them right now, he's wearing them.
Do you know if he has those pair at the house here in this day?
They probably are.
So the ones that he killed your mom he was wearing, he probably has here at the house that he was living in. Okay. Anything else that he was wearing? Ball cap or hoodies or anything like that? Nothing?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm horrified.
So you never went to the bedroom?
No, sir.
And you said that he had locked you in the bathroom? How to describe how that happened?
As I was going towards my mom's room, because I was feeling like here, and it's a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, where are you going? And he put me in the bathroom. He closed the door. And but first he locked the door in a way that it locked itself.
Were you inside the bathroom? When you
I was
walked in?
inside the bathroom.
Okay.
And
And
then,
so he can lock it from the outside?
no, he put it like to lock inside and then he closed it.
So the lock was on the inside
The
where
lock
you were
was
at?
in the inside.
Okay. So how come you never unlocked it and it came out?
I never thought about it.
At,
And
at that point, did you know what his intentions were?
not really, no.
You didn't know what his intentions were with your mom?
I was kind of afraid of him, so I thought I'd give him time to cool off, I guess. And then I heard all the screaming and I was so scared that I just covered my ears. And I just crawled up in a little corner.
Where were you at in the bathroom? You
Um,
said you were curled up.
I'm by the tub, like by the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I was there.
What were you wearing that night?
I was
I
scared.
was wearing a white nightgown with flowers on it.
A white nightgown with flowers. And you're doing this that have flowers on the top up here.
Flowers on the top.
Okay. Now, when you said nightgown, I'm not a girl, so I don't know what those things are. Can you kind of describe it a little better for me?
A white gown, long sleeves,
Okay.
white, and it was a soft material.
Soft material. Okay. Did you have panties or shorts or anything on?
No, I don't usually wear panties to bed.
Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit personal.
So I don't wear panties to bed?
When you were in the bathroom and you heard your mom screaming,
Wow.
can you kind of describe that to me? If you can, try to start from the beginning, the middle to the end.
Hey, California.
Her wake up, kind of moaning, and I heard her scream,
You heard her moan and then you heard her scream.
and
Can you describe her scream to me? No, that's an awkward question, but
startled,
okay.
and then she kept screaming louder and louder, and then she had said, "Gypsy, Gypsy," and
He isn't him.
Gypsy, my name.
Thank you, Danielle Sanchez. So kind of
She
you.
was calling for my
She's
name.
your mom.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I think I knew what he was doing.
At that point, you knew what he was doing,
I knew what he was doing, but
and your mom was hollering at you for you.
it was
Please
too
say that,
afraid to
Daniel.
go because I was afraid he'd do the same to me.
So would it be safe that you kind of knew what he was going in there to do when he locked you in the bathroom? Okay. Did he tell you kind of what he was going to do? Did he make us, make a comment or any kind?
No.
Okay.
But while he was doing it,
Now, when you say doing it, I can't guess. Part of my job is not to guess. So,
killing her,
okay.
he said a comment. You won't keep us apart. You won't keep us apart. You'll be dead before that happens.
Where were you standing at? Where was he at? Whatever he said that.
I was in the bathroom with my hands over my ears like
Okay.
this, and he was in my mom's bedroom.
And that's when he was making that comment. You're not going to stand between me and her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How'd you get these stuff on your neck? How'd you get all that?
They're hickeys.
They're just hickeys. Okay.
I hate
How'd you
you.
get this?
That is a
What?
hickey, and that one's a bruise.
She was just like a
You
little
told me this is a
freak.
hickey. You've been honest with me this whole time now. Don't start lying to me now.
I'm
What
sorry.
is this and how did you get it? I'm a guy. I would never give a girl a hickey on her arm. Okay? How'd you get that bruise? Look at me.
Oh, so it wasn't a hickey.
At what point did you grab your arm?
He kept on grabbing me to bring me around the house, and he made me clean up the drops.
Describe that to me.
He forced me to be naked while I was doing it.
Okay.
So, he went into the kitchen, and he asked if we had any carpet washing stuff.
Okay. Do you know the name of it or what did it look like? Can you describe it to me?
It's just this one carpet odor remover. We didn't have any stain remover.
Was it in a bottle?
It was in
or-
a reddish maroon bottle,
Okay.
and he grabbed my arm like this and said, "Clean it up."
Now, where were you at when he did that? What What part of the house were you at?
The drops of blood went from my mom's bedroom all the way to the hall, into the dining room, to the kitchen, and he made me clean up each drop.
Good.
And he wanted to drink of water, so he said he couldn't touch any of the cups, so grab him a cup, get him some water, and he made me give him a drink of water.
Okay. What were you using to clean up the blood? Was it like a washcloth, a towel, or something?
The baby wipes.
Scott towel.
Oh,
Was
I thought it was baby
in the
wipes.
house? Okay. What'd you do with those towels?
We threw it in the garbage.
The garbage. Okay. Where's that garbage at now?
They took it out.
Okay. Where did they take it out to? Like the street, or did they take it somewhere in a car and take it, or something
It
different?
was, the trash usually passes on a Thursday morning,
Your guys' trash comes on Thursday morning.
so we put it out on the curb
Okay. When did he kill your mom?
on the night of the night.
The night of the 9th? Do you know what day that was?
I can't remember the name of the day. I'm sorry.
How come you can remember the night, but you don't remember the day? Can you kind of explain that to me?
Because I remember we were planning to sneak outside and see each other.
And you remember it was the 9th?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Anything else you need to tell me? Anything else you're leaving out? It's your last opportunity.
Yeah.
No, sir. That's it.
Nothing about you?
I didn't do anything wrong. Except
You never killed your mom?
No,
Never touched her with a knife?
no, never did, sir.
You never agreed? Told him that you knew he was going to kill her?
I never.
What do you think he's going to tell me?
He's gonna tell you that I came here just to see him and that he didn't do it.
So he's not going to tell me that you had any part of this?
Honestly, I don't know what he's gonna say.
Okay, I'm asking you direct and straight.
Mhm.
You don't think he's going to tell me that you had anything to do with your mom's killing? And this is the time to be honest, because like I told you, walk out that door.
He has a romantic notion of us doing everything together as a team, but I didn't want this. I wanted my mom and him to.
So did you kill your mom?
No, sir.
Did you help
No, sir.
Nicholas kill your mom?
No, sir. No, sir.
Did you have knowledge that Nicholas was going to kill your mom
No, sir.
before he did it?
No, sir.
Well, she's honest about that.
Okay, sit tight for me, okay?
She was honest about having knowledge, right? Crocodile tears. Here come the tears. Oh, is she done crying? I can't believe she only did 7 years. I'm
Talk with
disappointed.
you just a little bit more about things. I'm a little more clear on. What color is the wig that you had? That wig that you were wearing, what color was that?
Black.
Black. Okay. Was that your wig or whose wig was that? Just have me play dress up in or something or what? Okay. Does your mom normally, does she sleep naked?
Hey,
Or
Dad.
does she
No,
usually, what does she usually wear to bed?
nightgowns, their sleeveless,
Okay. Do you know, was she wearing anything that night that she went to bed?
a blue nightgown.
A blue nightgown? Okay.
She was 23 when it happened, and I think now she's 33, and she got out in 2023, I think.
The droplets of blood in the house. And you said that you were cleaning them up from where in the house?
From, they went in the hall.
The hallway?
Nick wouldn't let me in my mom's bedroom.
Okay.
So, they went from the hall to the kitchen.
From the hall to the kitchen. Now, are those the blood droplets that you were trying to clean up?
Mhm.
Okay. And then the stuff that you were cleaning them up with, you said that it was.
Mom was
it in a
nude.
spray bottle or a glass bottle or something
It
different?
was in like one of those jugs.
Yeah, the mom was nude when she was stabbed 17 times. Remember, Nick said he wanted to grape her, but he ended up changing his mind. Sick.
A jug.
Like a jug.
Okay, what's that? Say it had a handle on it or didn't have a handle or something? Had a handle on it? Okay. What color was it again?
Maroon.
Maroon.
It's in the kitchen. I can tell you where it's at. It's by the back door.
By the back door. Okay. What did it have any wordings or anything on it, or not have anything wordings on it, or something different?
Bissell.
Yeah, Ernie.
I think it's for pet odor.
Bissell pet odor. Okay. When you guys left your mom's house,
Gypsy
you
Rose.
said that you had called. You said Yellow Cab
He
Okay.
called Yellow Cat from his cell phone.
from his cell phone. Okay. Where's his cell phone at right now? Is it at the house here?
I think so. I doubt he was able to take it with him.
Okay. What color was that cell phone? Do you know the brand of it or anything?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
Okay. What color was it? Do you remember?
Black.
Black. Okay. So he calls Springfield Yellow Cab.
Mhm.
Kind of explain to me that process there. You guys, Yellow Cab obviously shows up,
Mm-hmm.
and can you kind of start from there, from the beginning, middle?
And we got into the Yellow Cab, and we told them to go to the hotel, and we went to the hotel. He only paid for his stay, and I was able to just sneak in the room with him.
So explain that to me. How did you sneak in the room?
He just
Were you
brought
over by
me-
Waffle House or something, or
Um,
and then come into the room?
I just waited right outside.
Like
the-
outside
like the office where you would normally
of
check in.
the motel?
Mhm.
Okay.
And I just went in his room.
Okay.
That's all.
Did you guys go anywhere after that?
We went to Waffle House and we tried to eat, but I forgot that I was for it.
Okay.
And I started to drink some chocolate milk, but then I got sick.
Okay. All right. So you ate at the Waffle House there, right next to the Days Inn. It's in the same parking lot. Okay.
Her lack
Then
of,
where did you go
of
after you guys
emotion
ate?
for her
I
mom.
went back to the hotel
Knowing
to
what
lay
she
down
did.
because I wasn't feeling good. I felt dizzy and my stomach felt bad.
Okay. So you guys lay down. Approximately how long do you think you guys slept?
Probably about 5 hours.
About 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. After you slept for 5 hours, then what did you guys do? Did you get up and go anywhere?
We stayed at the hotel the whole time, really.
So you stayed at the hotel for a while, and then how did you wind up? Now we kind of need to know. You stayed at the hotel. What day did you leave the hotel, and how did you get from the hotel to wherever you went to get to here?
We were supposed to take a Greyhound bus. His bus was scheduled for to leave on the 11th at 6:13. But whenever we got all our stuff packed and everything, we tried to go to get the Greyhound station, and all the tickets were sold out.
How did you get from the hotel to the Greyhound station?
Taxi. We used the taxi the whole time.
The same one?
Same taxi service, but different driver.
So Springfield Yellow Cab?
Right.
Okay. So you got a cab from the hotel to Greyhound.
Mhm.
Did they drop you off and leave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you went in there.
We went in there and we were.
I know she was a victim at some point before she was a perpetrator as well, like Debbie said earlier, but she saw so many doctors. Why couldn't she tell one of them? You know what I mean?
I purchased my ticket.
She chose to plan
but
her
when
mother's
they ran
murder.
out,
Okay.
So they said that they just fixed our tickets for the morning
She had
after.
choices. That's right,
And that
Debbie.
was at 7:30
7:30 at night or in the morning?
in the morning.
She had choices.
Do you remember what day that was?
On the 12th.
On the 12th. Okay. So your mom died on the 9th. And you had 10th, 11th, and 12th. So we're missing a couple of days in there. What did you guys do for those couple of days?
Stayed at the hotel.
Okay. Did you guys go to Walmart or anything?
He went to Walmart to get us something to drink.
Okay.
And on the last day, he went to Walmart to buy condoms.
Okay. All right. So anywhere else that you guys went together, or was it just him that was leaving out, or something different?
That was it.
Okay. So he was the only one leaving. You were staying at the hotel.
I wasn't staying at the hotel. I waited. We both went to Walmart together, but I waited outside.
Okay. So you went to Walmart together, walked up there, rode up there, or what?
We took a cab there, and I waited outside with our luggage because he didn't want our luggage.
I'm also not disregarding what she went through, like the whole Munchausen thing, you know, whatever her mom put her through. But there's many people that go through trauma and stuff like that, and they don't unalive anyone or their mother.
by itself.
And you went from there to the Greyhound bus station?
Her head was
Okay.
severed, basically.
And what were you
off.
wearing?
I haven't
17
changed
stab
my
wounds.
clothes since then, so this.
Okay, so that's what you were wearing the day. And did you have a wig on at that
Mhm.
point? Anything else on your face?
No, sir.
Um,
I'm wearing the same shoes, same everything.
okay. All right.
I even told him that my thoughts of life with him would be a bit different, and this is not how I wanted it to be. And he has a way about him that he can make you feel comfortable in any situation. And I never felt like I was in any danger when I got to Wisconsin, because I know that he loves me and he would do anything for me and to be with me.
Yeah. Unalive your mother.
There's this, he called it his evil side. He needs to get rid of that side, because that's no way to live.
You do too, Gypsy.
You live a righteous life.
You
You
do.
live a good life. He even made me leave behind my cross, because he believes his own religion, I guess.
okay. When you guys went to the Greyhound bus station, take us for a bite. Where'd you guys go from there? Did you guys stay the night somewhere?
After they couldn't get me on the bus, we went back to the hotel, stayed another night at the hotel.
And what day was that?
The 11th. We were supposed to leave on the 11th, but bus, I couldn't get on it, so we stayed another night.
So you stayed the 11th
Mm-hmm.
and into the 12th? Was that safe to say?
No, we were traveling on the 12th, so
Traveling on the
we
12th?
got on the Greyhound bus at 7 o'clock.
On the
7
12th.
on the 12th in
Okay.
the morning, and we were on a Greyhound bus from Springfield to St. Louis to Chicago, then Chicago to Milwaukee, and then his mom came pick us up late at night. I think it was at 2 a.m.
Off of the Greyhound bus?
off of the Greyhound bus. So she met us at the Milwaukee bus station at around 2 a.m. On, I guess, technically the 13th.
Okay. All right. Give me just a few more minutes, okay? Be right with you, okay?
I want to see if she starts trying, but I'll fast forward through the part where she just sits there. Oh, no crying?
Sometimes I gotta step out, clear my head, and think, make sure there's not any other questions I have for you. Okay? Did the cab come to the house? Did he call the cab to the house?
Sir,
Okay. Did the cat pull up in front of the house, or did you guys have to walk and go get to it, or something different?
It pulled in the driveway.
Pulled in the driveway of your mom's house? Okay. You said you guys met on a website?
Yeah, on a it was called ChristianDatingForFree.com.
Christian
Datingforfree.com.
datingforfree.com. Okay.
Please
And
stay away from that website because there might be another
did
Nick
you
on
make a
there.
profile on there, and he had a profile on there, or? Okay. And that's how you guys met?
Mhm.
Okay.
And we just stayed in touch. And we ended up, I told him that my mom was a bit protective and she's a bit hard to, please, I guess. And,
Or
I
do,
wanted
but please be
him to
careful.
make a good impression on her.
Sure.
So I sent him some formal clothes, like a nice shirt like that and a nice
Sure.
pants.
Right.
And so they can meet up so he can at least make a good impression. So, and I guess my mom just saw right through all the falseness and everything, and she's like, he's dangerous.
Okay. So there was something else I had to ask you. And you don't know what happened to the knife. Did he have it in his hand whenever he opened up the bathroom door?
Yes, sir.
He did have it in his hand.
He had it in his hand, and he didn't want me to look, and but he wanted me to clean up his blood from his cut.
Okay.
So I was able to clean him up, and I put a Band-Aid on his finger.
Okay. Have you seen the Facebook posts that were out there? That was on Dee Gypsy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who put those posts out there? You know the one I'm specifically talking about. The very first post.
That was a Facebook post,
What did that post say?
Something really bad.
Okay, what was so bad? What was said?
I put it on there because I wanted someone to find my mom.
Okay. What did you put? What did you type on there?
I put what he had said to me, and he was happy about it.
Which was what?
That bitch is dead.
That bitch is dead? Is that what you just told me? Okay. So you put on your Facebook account, that bitch is dead. Okay.
I wanted someone to know that something was wrong. And I knew that my friends would all worry if that's not the way me and my mom talk.
Okay.
So I was like, if I put that on there, they'll know something's wrong.
Okay. Where did you do that from?
From his house.
Okay. On a phone, a computer, a laptop, or what?
On he has a computer, but my little, I guess you could say phone, but usually I just use it to get Wi-Fi and play video games or something on.
So that's the phone that you typed that on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he knew about it, and I asked him if I could have permission to please, I need them to find my mom, and so she could have a proper burial.
Okay.
And
Wow.
and I knew that it would get people's attention because we don't ever curse. And like, the first people were like, "Oh, they must be watching a movie," and I'm like, No, this is serious. Please, someone call the police.
Where's that phone at now that you typed that stuff
This is
It's
wild.
in my backpack
in your backpack? Where's your backpack
at
at?
the house
At the house in
in Big Bend.
Big Bend. Okay. There was another post. There was something else that was put on there.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
My mom got slashed and he raped me.
Okay.
And I know there was another one that says, the girl is dead too. He said to post that so they wouldn't come looking for me.
And who posted that?
Me.
You did that? Okay. On your own free will?
No.
You were told to put that on there.
Yes.
Now you said that first one.
The first one, I wanted to put on that one because I wanted someone to find my mom and know that something was wrong.
Okay. So was it safe to say that you put that on your own free will, that first one, but not the other ones? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I would never ever call my mom that, but yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Any other things that were posted on your Facebook?
That's about it.
That's about it? Okay.
I would like to ask some questions
Okay.
that I have.
Okay.
One, what is going to happen to me?
Oh, there it is. Hmm.
And two, am I going to be sent back to Missouri? Can I get my luggage with money and my social security cards, my insurance card,
Okay.
and things like this?
Okay. The first question, I have no power or control over that because I'm not that person. I don't have that power or authority. Okay. That's still to be decided at this point. Okay.
I can't
But
believe
I
her.
don't have that control, and I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. Okay. As far as your personal property belongings and stuff, right now all that is part of an investigation. Okay. So it'll probably be retained for
I love
a period
the
of
light
time.
of it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Give me just a little bit more time. Okay.
This is Gypsy Rose Interrogation. We're basically almost through. Ooh. Taking pictures. Which we're going to look through
Go up to sleep just a little bit for me.
on another live. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Hold out your hands just like this together, just like that. Yep. There you go. Okay, hold your hands over. Come together for me. Maybe a second. Okay. Do you have any other bruises anywhere? But I don't want you to show any of your. Don't show me any of your body parts. Okay. How'd you get that?
He made me shave my legs and kneel on the ground and clean up the blood. So
He made me shave my legs.
See,
How's
it's
your
carpet
blood?
burn from just crawling around on the carpet when you were cleaning up the blood. Okay. Anything else anywhere else?
yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Cover it back up that blanket if you want.
He's like, yeah, get your blanket. Oh, and she naps again. She little nap time for Gypsy.
He needs to tell you that I honestly have been having.
Wait, we skipped a little bit of that, and I want to go back.
Hey, Gypsy.
We're almost done. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. Appreciate you.
Sorry to have to wake you up. Talk to your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole lot of stuff you're leaving out, girl.
Like what?
Well, I'm not going to get into it with you, okay? You're leaving a lot of stuff out that you need to probably tell me. Do you want to talk to me about it? Tell me about it?
Sure, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
You planned this with him, okay? You didn't get locked in the bathroom, okay? I'm not stupid.
I know.
First of all, the lock's on this side, so you can't get locked in there.
I know.
Okay, you went in there because
So true.
You-
Debbie said that earlier.
brought that knife into the picture. You brought the idea into the picture.
I didn't bring the idea.
You did bring it into. You brought the whole thing in the idea,
No,
and he did it for you.
no,
Yeah.
no.
He did. Okay. So the lies, they're done. I'm not gonna sit in here all night long.
No, I
Honest
won't
with you.
give you. I won't give you. Like, I did not think of this. I know that he has a evil side, and
Oh,
he
jeez.
did want to do it.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that.
He wanted to get rid of my mom.
Yeah, for
He
you.
wanted- Yes, for me.
Yeah, because you asked him to.
He wanted to.
Yeah, because
and
you asked him to. Plain and simple.
we
Gypsy, We're not playing this game, okay? You asked him to. That's why he did it.
I like Detective
Okay.
Hancock.
Plain and simple. We're not playing this game. I'm not going to spend all my night long listening to your lies anymore. You told me the truth on some things, but you left a lot of stuff out. You left a lot of stuff out. So we're not playing this game, okay? He's already told me everything. Everything.
We're both trying.
The knife was mailed. You guys mailed it here, okay? We know where the knife's at. So the gig's up. You're done. It's up. You're done. You're done. You hated your mom?
I did not hate my mom. I did not hate my mom.
Yeah,
I
you
loved my mom, and
You would have
needs-
never done this to your mom.
he needs to tell you that I honestly have been having horrible, and I didn't want to do it. And he said that he would commit suicide if we didn't.
Yeah.
Did he tell you that?
Yep. Yep.
I said that it was a bad thought that I was thinking, and yeah,
No.
I don't think that we should be doing this.
A lot of people think about stuff, but when you act, that's when you cross the line. And that's what you've done. You acted upon it, and he acted upon it. So, okay? We're done. You're obviously going to keep telling me lies.
I'm
so
not,
saying
sir.
about it.
I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Now you're going to be booked in for, later on down the line, you're going to be booked in for probably murder, okay? As long as, and with him as well, okay? All
I
right?
didn't murder my mom, sir.
Listen to me.
Sir,
Listen
I
to
didn't.
me. You did, because you're behind it. You pulled all the strings on it,
I
and
didn't.
you're behind it. I'm not, listen, Gypsy, I'm not going to sit and argue with you about it, okay?
All I wanted was
So-
come and get me.
No, that's not all you wanted. There's a
That
lot
would be
more to this
good.
whole story that you're leaving out. I'm not going to play
I
the
would
sympathetic game. I'm not like that, okay? I can see right through it, okay?
Please, I'm not able to be in jail. I have a lot of medical
I
needs.
understand that, and they'll get taken care of.
No, you don't.
So sit tight.
No waterworks? She was like, yeah. My boo threw me under the bus.
Someone help. Help me. I
Someone help, she said.
didn't.
Yeah, who helped Dee Dee? Gypsy. She will get up. Okay, I don't want to hear her crocodile tears. No. That is wild. That's right. Dee Dee doesn't get to cry anymore.
Everything okay?
Yes,
Right. You're on the floor there?
I'm just scared.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
60
what we're
girl.
gonna do is we're gonna end up moving you from this room here. And for the night, we're gonna put you up,
What a fool on
in a spot
the
up in the jail.
floor.
But it'll be probably about another 5 minutes, and then I'll walk you up there, okay? So yeah, you wanna put your boots on, stay comfortable for a couple minutes, and I'll get you up there.
I can't believe she was on the floor. That's true, Tess. I can agree with that. She was listening. It's basically over. She looks like Brian Koberger in that black hoodie. You know what I mean?
All right, we are ready to head up. What we're gonna do is we're kind of kind of be in the jail facility. We're going to wait there for a while, and investigators will probably talk to you again in the morning, but at least this gives you an opportunity to probably get something to eat and get some regular sleep. Okay? So, yeah, if you want to step out, by policy, we're going to have to put some handcuffs on you. Okay, just turn face away and put your hands behind your back.
And I'm assuming is she in the search?
Yes.
Yeah. We got some tiny little ribs here, so I'm just gonna make sure that.
Bye, Gypsy.
Just
Someone needs to lock her back up now.
Is Nick still here?
what's that?
Is Nick still here?
Nick's still in the, yeah, he's still in the building.
Can you please give him a message for me?
Well, we're not giving any messages at this time, okay?
She's like, is Nick is still here? Can you give him a message for me?
Really tiny wrists.
That is insane. She should have gotten way more time. Yeah. I think she should have gotten way more time. I can't believe it. It's been a long time since I've watched that. So if you missed the beginning of the live, we covered court documents. Part 1 tonight. We're going to cover more interrogation and documents probably tomorrow. We'll continue this week with Gypsy Rose, Dee Dee, Karen Reed, and I have a deep dive tomorrow afternoon. So thank you for being here tonight and hanging out. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. Welcome all new subscribers. We have more people have joined the fam here at Mellyverse. So thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out and make sure you are back tomorrow afternoon. Shout out to Debbie, my mod, for being here, and Augie, all my mods who showed up. Appreciate you. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Have a good night.